What up? What up? What up? You know what time it is, people. It's R&J Fantasy Football Talk, and it's week one. It's called overreaction, baby, because that's what they do. People overreact after week one and make decisions that they don't want to do for real. But you know what time it is. We're here to help you out with it, and we are ready to go. You know who I am. I'm Rodney. This is Jay. What's going on?
Hey man, week one happened, and I'm ready for week two. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible week. I'm in 9 leagues. I won in three of the nine. Um, but guess who I beat, America? oh,
He beat me. It's early though. I
I was gonna
overreact.
let
It's cool.
America take a guess.
It's okay.
But
Whatever.
I was telling our lovely producer if I don't win a single game because the writing was on the wall early. I was like, if I don't win a single game this week, let me please beat Rodney because I don't really feel like hearing him.
It's early. It's okay. It's early, and we gonna count it as what it is. It's an early win, but you know when it really counts, I'm gonna be there. That's all that matters. That's what you say.
Hey, what's up, Jamal joining us? You missed the bold prediction show, but drop your prediction. We're still counting, even though we're a week into the season. Let us know. He said Marvin Harrison Jr. and I'm gonna cost him a win. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because that's
Oh yeah.
what's up. How'd you do, by the way, Mister Riddick?
I went
With
three and
your
three this week.
okay,
I want to say I hate
respect.
kickers, man. I do. I hate kickers. Um, I lost because
Uh-huh.
my own kicker. My own
Yeah,
kicker beat me this week. Jake Moody in one of the leagues put up 63 points,
yeah.
and somehow I lost.
For,
So it's
for
cool.
those surprised, we play in this dynasty league, and because people disrespect kickers all the time, and a lot of people have started dropping kickers because kickers don't get you points. Well, in this dynasty league, we designed it so kickers will get you points if they put on a show,
Don't
and so
underestimate a
don't
kicker.
underestimate the kickers because they can put a. And what did Jake Moody hit? Like six
Jake
field
Moody
goals
hit
in it.
6 field goals.
So
Um, I think Pittsburgh kicker had
yes,
78
yeah.
points in the league. So it was crazy.
So
I
it
just
was
don't
great.
like
It
kickers
was
this week.
a hot week for kickers. So 3-3
Yes.
is good. I think Jamal saying he's 5 or 7, and he's got JSN as a top 20 receiver. He did not
Ooh,
probably get off to the start you wanted for that, but we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll
we'll
talk.
talk. Definitely talk.
Producer, how's it over there, producer land? How did you do this week?
Oh
This is
man.
this is good, y'all.
Actually, it was. I won all my games.
Well, look at that.
And how many
Every
leagues is
last.
that?
I'm in 4.
Yeah.
So I won every last single one of them. I didn't think I was going to. I thought I was just gonna win one
Uh huh.
in the defensive league, the league that I have no clue what I'm doing, but suddenly I've turned into an expert. But
Yeah.
that Monday night game did a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Folks didn't play, so I was kind of glad, because I was playing against somebody that had 2 players on your team that didn't play, but I was glad they didn't play because then they didn't
Yeah.
get points. And so I won all 4.
Yeah, so if you're keeping track of the best fantasy football player amongst the three of us is our producer who went
Ooh, but that's
undefeated.
only for this week, though. We'll see what happens
Oh
next
yeah.
week. Let's not.
She she
Whoa,
she, she
whoa.
outdid us.
That's
Well,
no,
you
that's
know,
real bold. See, you doing a bold
So
prediction.
look,
No,
look,
no,
week one
no.
overreaction. There we go.
Yeah, we'll call it a bold overreaction. No, 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 no.
All right, that's what's up. So congratulations on that. Hey, keep the wins coming. Hey, welcome Nita to the show. Good to have you with us. Speaking of people I beat, I told you I didn't beat a lot of people. But in the Uptown Comedy Club, if you're in Atlanta, check it out. I played Nita in this joint, and rightfully won like I should do. That league, I keep coming close. Last year was kind of a mixed bag. I started off really well, ended poorly. The first year, I can't remember what I was in. I think I was in a championship game or in the playoffs. I lost either way. This is the year I need to win that one because I just
you
want to
gotta
win.
get that chip, man.
I
You
gotta
gotta get
win.
a chip.
I need some
Yeah.
chips. I need a lot of chips this year. So I'm in 9 leagues. My goal is to win 3. We'll see if I can do it. That's
I'm trying
my
to
bold
win
prediction.
all of them.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. And the way I put out numbers in one of them, it looked like I could win it this year. So
Okay.
it's early though. So
Yeah.
we're gonna say that it's early, no overreaction over here. So we're gonna play it that way.
Okay.
Um,
So,
but we got a little bit of news to start
oh,
off with. If you're new
the
to the
NFL
show,
news started off. What do you got for us?
so if you're new to the show, we see this is episode. Really, this is episode one
What?
because this is when it really starts. So we got some news. We can give you some guys that did work this week from different positions, and we're gonna have some stuff going on. But stay with us. So we got Jordan Love could play this week. I need your opinion on that. Do you, as
Hey.
a guy that has him, and I have him too, do you put him out there,
What was my
or
bold
do
prediction last week?
that Jordan
Jordan
Love would?
Love, number one
Okay,
fantasy football quarterback. For me, I want that bold prediction to not happen. I don't put him out this week.
okay,
I let him. You can play on this injury. Fortunately, he did not have any damage to his ACL, which would have
hmm
really destroyed my fantasy football prediction. So I'll say I'm about to take on the mantle of quarterback jinx if I'm not careful. But I think you need to be smart with him. At least give him a go because this is an injury you could come back from in like 3 weeks. What's 3 weeks in terms of an
exactly.
entire season? Let him rest. I'm with you, Jamal. Do not play Jordan Love. Um, I thinking the coach is just talking and stuff because look, the I was waiting for them to pick up somebody, and they don't want people to go in saying yes, Malik Willis is going to be our quarterback.
I mean, he
So
did
they
say that. He came out and said Malik Willis is going to be the starter if
exactly
Jordan Love can't play.
yeah, but
But
come on, nobody wants Malik. Malik Willis is a few years ago there was a lot of hype, but he
he's
was
a
known to
project.
be a project,
Yeah,
and they took him on to continue this project. They do not want him starting, but that's in their best interest. Actually, what's in their really best interest was they should have picked up Ryan Tannehill. I had the waiver wire ready to pick up Ryan. I was like, just make the announcement, and I almost picked them up before then. But for me, no, you don't play Jordan Love. What about you?
um, as a guy with Jordan Love,
Yeah,
if he does, I don't. I say don't play him. I say give him, sit him out this week, sit him out next week, and then if he feels better, then you play him.
yeah,
But as a guy with Jordan Love, if he does play, I'm not gonna play him just because of the fact that
yeah,
of a re-injury or something crazy happen. And most of the time when you do that, that guy normally goes off and does work, and you'll be
yeah, all
like,
the
"Dang,
time.
I needed that point. I needed those points to win." But for me, just playing it safe, as I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't play him because it's
Yeah,
it's just really if you think this week, next week, he'll be back in the week
yeah,
after that. So me personally, I don't do it.
yeah.
I don't do it.
I don't do it. I hope the coaches don't do it. And I know Jamal said Malik is trash. Yeah, that's no question about that. But if
Yeah.
that's who you got to roll with, that's who they go roll with. Welcome, Catherine Bracy, to the show. Another member of the Women's Fantasy Football League. Nita said she had Jordan on the bench and Nick Chubb on the bench. Yo, my IR spot is full in like four of my leagues already. Now, I started with guys in IR anyway because I had Nick Chubb, like Nita's talking about, on my IR. I had TJ Hawkinson on my IR. But now I'm ready to put Jordan Love up there, even though the team's not talking about putting him on IR. I'm thinking he's not playing. I got Puka,
Yeah.
who's out. I was like,
Jeez.
this week is starting off poorly, but we'll
May
get
I
to some.
make a suggestion that we increase IR spots since players get hurt like within 4 plays of a game?
Yeah, hey, we will actually. Yeah, so
I'm just saying, two
oh,
obviously isn't enough anymore. Just a thought.
yeah. So I feel like I need more IR spots all the time. Yeah, it will help. But it's part of the game. Jamal said, yeah, they should call Flacco off the bench. Hey,
Well,
Flacco, they
unfortunately,
ain't letting him
Flacco
go, and they
in
ain't letting
Indy.
Flacco go in Indianapolis. That's for
He's in
doggone
Indy, so
sure.
yeah,
After
unfortunately,
what they
no.
went through last year, I'm sure he ain't going nowhere.
So
Um,
nah.
yeah, but injury. What else you got?
I got speaking of injury, we got CMC. He went from a calf injury to an Achilles tendonitis injury, which could lead to an Achilles injury. Now, my thing is for the people that drafted CMC this year, how do you feel about that? And I know you don't have any shares of CMC, but I'm just saying from a general standpoint, how should they feel about that? And from a 49ers fan, I feel like we should not rush him back because that could lead to a season ending injury. Even though Jordan Mason looked great, we're gonna talk about him later.
Yeah.
But I say don't play him. Let him sit 4 weeks, 5 weeks, however it takes. But according to them, the injury happened last year in the playoff. Well, before the playoffs, and he just played on it, so it probably made it worse. Now, for me, that's not a good sign. But how you feel about it?
I think it's a very poor sign that they had to sit the highest paid running back in the league, who they made the highest because they gave him a contract even though they just gave him one, and then they put in a guy who makes barely as much in a year the CMC makes in a paycheck for 1 week, and they get that awesome kind of production. So
yeah, oh yeah.
It just goes to show kind of the mentality on why guys don't want to play these running backs, because the thought is you can put in somebody for a much lower contract and still get a lot of production, or you go by some kind of committee. Because if Jordan Mason come in and put up those kinds of yards, we'll talk when we get to the hot and not section.
Yeah.
But it's not great, and it also just proves what I said before on why I didn't like CMC. Whenever he's the consensus number one, our third man sent us a message during the week.
I seen that. Yeah,
he picked up CMC this year, and hey, it's already not working out for him. But a lot of people was in trouble. In fact, some people we play with in one of our leagues tried to pick up Jordan Mason, but because of the way the rules are, the Yahoo wouldn't let them put them in this week, and so they was just short. And I know he wasn't the only person that happened to, but it's injuries. You can't predict them; they're part of the season. Jamal saying he picked him up. Oh, and speaking of the third man, speak on him, and he will show up. And it's all Rodney's fault.
Hold on. First of all, you don't even have him in my league. What does that have to do with me? Like, they got nothing to do with me. You probably got him in another league somewhere where you shouldn't have got him in the first place. That is not my fault. I told y'all in the beginning of the year, you go get Breece Hall or you go get Bijan. That's the two running backs that I kept talking about. I never said anything about CMC. You can go back and check the video. Now, am I lying? I never said go get CMC.
Hey,
I said Breece Hall.
Try to save your good name.
I'm just saying, bro, you my guy now, but it ain't my fault though. Now you gotta take this one on the chin now, because you drafted him because you said you wanted a piece of him and some shares of Christian McCaffrey this year because you just felt like he was good. We all know he has an injury history. That's all I've been saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yo, what up, Will Hayes joining us. We got his question earlier, Nita's asking about Nick Chubb and Jordan Love. Should they be dropped altogether? The answer to that is no, because I know the league that you play in, you have an IR. Now, here's one thing. I think they only have one IR spot in that league.
Keep him on the bench.
But I would keep Nick Chubb in the IR spot and keep Jordan Love on the bench, because when he comes back, he had a solid game. Considering how awful those field conditions were in Brazil.
Gosh.
It was a hot mess, to put it nicely.
I hope y'all go back, though.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
But he was doing his thing. So, yeah. But definitely, thanks for the question. But, don't drop those guys. Just put them on the bench. Put them in your IR spot that you have for at least one of them.
It's another one. She also asked about Wilson and Watson.
Oh, what about Wilson and Watson? Russell Wilson
Russell Wilson, I don't.
Still injured.
He's still hurt, but I feel like it's something more to that because how hurt is he? The man went out there with a full
Did,
uniform on and he was inactive. What
did,
what are we doing?
did you hear Bill Cowher saying, "Hey, there's no need to rush him back"?
Yeah, but that's what I'm like.
Yeah, he.
I'm not saying that Justin Fields played great, but Justin Fields just the element of running because they don't have an O
Yeah,
line
exactly.
for one. So the element of running is probably better for him to be in the game than a
Yeah,
Russell Wilson who can't move that
not
well.
anymore.
So
Yeah.
that's why I think they pushing Justin Fields so hard this week to start over him. Now, my question is, what if he continues to win? You can't even think about going back to Russell Wilson, even if they win him by the skin of their teeth. He's winning games and he's keeping them in games. So therefore, you can't even think about saying, you know what, we're gonna go to Russ now because Russ is a better quarterback. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
if Russ is a better quarterback than him right now anyway. So at the end of the day, what are they gonna do if he wins this week and he wins next week? They gotta figure out something. Or do they say, you know what, you're not the starter, you're the backup, and we're just gonna go from there. Something gotta be made.
One of these two guys here that said Justin Fields should probably be the starter to begin with. I mean, I know
I'm
I
not
did.
I'm not from a standpoint of age and youth and mobility, I think Justin Fields is there. And I think they also want to find a long term quarterback
Yeah.
because obviously they don't want to draft a rookie again and go through the process. So they want one of these guys to work out, but I think they want to favor Justin Fields more than anything,
Yeah.
just because he's younger.
Exactly.
So
He's the potential future. I think
yes,
Russ should just be there as the veteran to give some advice because he's been there. He can be helpful, but I
mm-hmm.
don't think he needs to be the starter. So yeah, I think Justin Fields gives them their best chance to win. So hopefully they stick with it. They don't seem like they're trying to rush him back. Now Watson, on the other hand, he sucks.
He
That would be my
does.
answer. He sucks.
He sucks, and I guess he got an issue off the field, but he said he ain't do nothing wrong this
Yeah.
time around. So I don't even
Okay.
want to touch that subject, to be honest with you. Just because we went over that before, and
Look! Watch all the tape from last season
yeah,
when
I
we talked
don't.
about it. It's the same story.
Yeah, so
So
I don't. And it's.
yeah,
I mean, my thing is, it goes back to 2020, 4 years ago,
yeah.
and it's like you waited this long, but that's a touchy subject. Honestly, people get offended over things like that when people don't want to hear what they want to hear. In
Well,
other words,
my thing is about it. It goes back to the Cleveland Browns are idiots, and if they make a move, you know it's the wrong one. So they
yeah,
gave this dude $230 million, and for it's just been 1 week, but I guarantee you this one's not an overreaction. He's not the best quarterback on that roster, just like he wasn't the best quarterback on that roster last year or the year before. They need to go ahead and just eat that $230 million and put
but
Jameis Winston in there.
but they can't though because they
Oh, they
redone
can.
his con. So the
They
thing
can.
is, they can't. No, I'm gonna tell you why.
They
Because
can sit him down. But
they can
what you
sit
got?
him down, but the cap hit for him is so high over the next 2 years, which is like $73 million
None
a
of,
piece.
but he
And
sucks on ice.
I'm not saying he don't
so,
suck, man.
so I'm just saying. Look.
I ain't saying that there.
You already spent. You already set that money on fire. So you might as well sit him down and let Jameis play, and at least try to win some games with the retool roster that they have.
Yeah.
Squinty, squinty,
Squinty's the dude.
squinty.
Squinty is our code name
Oh,
for
my bad. I'm sorry.
Jameis Winston because he used to always before he got his LASIK surgery.
I'm
You
sorry.
know,
Squint
he
and throw the
squinting
ball.
all the time and
Yeah, I
and
got
throwing to the
nicknames.
wrong team,
Yeah,
right?
The
I'm
wrong
sorry.
team,
I
yeah.
forgot.
Goes to the
I
wrong
got
team.
nicknames for
I mean, I picked
everybody.
them up in one of my leagues, so
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna play out, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. So I'm gonna just
It's
leave it
what
at
it's
that.
gonna
So
be. But if you're
speak,
asking me, if Deshaun Watson is droppable, he was never pick upable in my
yeah.
book.
So
Shaq has a question. Which with Mustard out and A Chain is questionable, but I'm crossing my fingers. A Chain's gonna be fine. Um, which other running backs are you picking up? I like the rookie, like the third man is saying. I have Jalen Wright, and I'm ready. The only thing I messed up with on the elite where I do have Jalen Wright is he's on my taxi squad, so
can't
it's
pull
like
them.
Hold on, wait, no.
If you pull him, you can't
If
put him back.
I pull him, I can't put him back.
Nope.
I gotta go take a look at that and see what is.
You can't. I
No,
tried.
actually, no. Actually, I take that back. He isn't in my taxi squad. I have what's the other guy? Tank Bigsby's in the taxi squad,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
good. So Jalen Wright, I'm pulling for playing because now that
I
I think about it, I
actually
can't
picked
put him
up
in. Yeah,
the other running back because I know you had Jalen Wright, so I picked up the other one.
yeah,
I think he's. If you know the coach is probably going to go with the veteran more than anything.
yeah.
But I think Jalen
Jeff
Wright's
Wilson,
play.
I
Jeff
think.
Wilson,
Yeah,
yes. So Jeff Wilson's going to start, and he's going to probably get the bulk of the carries, but Jalen Wright's going to be there because he set him down last week. He was inactive last week,
yeah.
Jalen Wright. So he going to play this week
That's
if
probably
HA don't go.
yeah. You're probably right. Because hey, you don't have mustard on your team if you're not going with veterans anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that being the
So he's
play.
probably going to go with the veteran
Um,
anyway, so it don't matter.
yeah.
So we'll
Um,
see.
yeah. NFL news. I'm surprised you didn't start with
Oh
the.
no, I was
Oh,
coming to that. I was
okay.
coming.
Well,
I was
go
coming.
for it.
Tyreek Hill got pulled over
Oh,
before the
okay.
game on Sunday, and it looks bad from a cop's perspective because
Mm-hmm.
they were wrong in this. From a moving violation, they say he was speeding.
60
They
miles an
wrote
hour on the
they
access
wrote
road.
is it 60 miles?
60 miles an hour is what they say.
So what was the actual speed limit? 55?
Access road probably lower than that. I don't know the exact speed limit, but they caught it's careless driving, so it's probably much lower than that.
Okay.
You're probably going at least 20 or so miles over the speed limit at that point.
Okay, so even if that's the case, right? Just say that's the case, right? You run his tags. His name pop up as Tyreek Hill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's on the way to a football game. I'm not saying don't pull him. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying that. What I'm saying is you don't yank him out the car. You tell him, hey, you had a moving violation. We got to give you a ticket. You were speeding. Here you go. Have a nice day. Have a good game. Pay the ticket. But you pulled him out the car. You kicked him in the back. You put your knee in his back. Now you're sitting home from work, which you should be fired, by the way. Um, but and you have, I know they showed a video on X where it was like
Yeah.
four of them standing around, and one of them just literally kicked him for no apparent reason. So therefore, it's like it was wrong all the way around.
Yeah.
Luckily, he didn't get hurt because if I was him and I got
Yeah.
hurt, I will be owning the police station in Miami because I would sue the pants off of him, and that's just being real with you. But I think they were wrong in all aspects. They shouldn't have did that. They knew what he was when they pulled him. Now, if you want to call it what it is now, because we ain't got no sponsors, we can say stuff like this. But if you want to call it what it, black man while driving black, whatever you want to call it, that's what it was. He had on a little tank top. They didn't, and they pulled him because of his car. Let's be real. But like it
Nice
is
car.
what it is. Nice car, definitely nice car. But it was wrong. And I know people gonna say, well, you shouldn't look at it that way. It was wrong because if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, he would be in jail or dead right now.
I will say on this subject, the cops were definitely wrong, um, but Tyreek Hill has
What's
a part
wrong?
to play in this because
Of
he was
course.
not just for speeding, but one of the complaints that the police they put in their statement was that he wasn't initially cooperative. And if you watch the video, Tariq starts off on a bad note,
Mhm.
not rolling the windows down when the police officer. It's a simple request, and in some parts, it's the law that you have to do that.
That's true.
And so he says he didn't want to have his window down because he's a celebrity and it could cause a scene with people stopping to take pictures, et cetera, et cetera. To Tariq Hill's credit, he actually came out with a statement today and said that he could have done better and he should have done better, and so I applaud him for that. But he started the level. He started on a level, and what's unfortunate is the police went up to that level times two, and so it's one of those things where no one in this situation did it right.
No,
In my opinion,
I would agree
and
with you.
so it's just one of those things where especially being you mentioned the troubles that black men can get into. That's why I'm like, Tariq, what are you doing? Because you just never know which
Yes.
officer you're talking to that's gonna go over to this level where you end up dead. And in this case, yo, chill, get your ticket. And the one thing the police did say right was complain about it later. And I wish he had done that. But fortunately, like you said, no one got hurt in this
Yes.
situation, and so it all's well that ends well. But I think both sides have a lot to learn. That officer, my biggest complaint with the officer, it took like literally a minute from them tapping on his window to him being on the ground
Right.
in
Yeah.
handcuffs. Like, wow,
So, I mean, but see,
you ask. You need police that can de-escalate a situation, and for a traffic violation, this got way out of hand way too quickly.
but
And I
see, but
think that's
this
the
is the thing.
biggest problem I
This is
have
the
with
thing.
it.
This is the thing I feel about it, right? Because you had what 4 policemen there? It was either 4 or 5.
It started off with
Some
two, and then you know
stuff.
how you
Then
look. If you're
everybody.
gonna pull over, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You got one, then you
So
got two, then you got 12 all on the side. Yeah,
my thing is, before they pull you over, before they stop you and turn and do anything, they
yeah,
run your tags, right? They run your tags to
yeah.
see who you are, because when they run your tags, your
Look,
name pop up. So when
they,
your name pop up,
but maybe they don't watch football. they, they
it do-
they watch
first
soccer instead. So
first
they
of all, if you're a cop in Miami and you
you
live
should
in
know,
Miami, you
especially
should know.
working that beat near the stadium.
You
You should
understand?
know who
You
you're
should
dealing
know
with.
who Tyreek Hill is. First of all. Second of all,
Yeah,
if you run his tags, you know his name is gonna pop up. It's gonna say,
yeah.
I don't know if it's, I don't know if he's using a middle name, but at some point it's gonna say Tyreek Hill in that. So if you put two and two together and say,
hmm
oh Lord, this is Tyreek Hill, we can't do anything crazy because we're gonna make the news.
And that's the other thing. They put themselves in a bad light unnecessarily because, like I said, they super overreacted to the situation. And I see in the comments Nita's talking about a golfer, Scotty Scheffler, and I was thinking about that today. I was going to
Yeah,
bring up. He had another,
same thing.
but he also got arrested uh, on that. So one of the issues is police don't like you challenging their authority,
Hmm.
if you will, and so I think they kind of get a little bit on their horse that if you don't do exactly what they say and doing, they go to 10, and that's something they have to work on. They need more training to know how to, like I said earlier, de-escalate these situations. Because
Yep.
while Tariq Hill was completely wrong in my book, the officer is twice as wrong because you're supposed to be the responsible person. And my biggest gripe with Tyreek is, look, you're a black man, and you know you're gonna be perceived as a threat. Like I said, he's a big dude, like you said, in the wife beater, and it's just like, dude, you know you're gonna be targeted. Play it cool. Get home to help people's fantasy football teams. Oh, is that not the biggest point? I'm
You
sorry.
keep saying stupid.
My bad.
I guess you want to say that. That's fine.
Oh,
But
it
okay.
all comes back to how it affects my fantasy football teams.
It does.
Look,
It comes back to
this
that.
dude was drafted number 2 overall in a lot of people's leagues. He owes it to the fans to play and not be
I
on the
mean, but I
side
do
in
want to,
handcuffs.
I do want
Yeah,
to shout out his teammates for stepping up and coming out
yeah,
there to sit there with him because they wanted to make sure he was all right.
yeah.
So, and they got arrested right along. Well, not arrested, but they got the
But yeah,
handcuffs
but
right
one
along
did
with
get
him.
handcuffed along with him. Yeah, and so
So
they were good
I
teammates.
respect that from a
But that's
team.
that's the other thing
Yes,
though, that the
good
officer
teammates.
that went and approached them was also, like I said, they were making a bigger deal out of something that didn't need to be. Because if you watch the film, one of the officers was saying, "Put out your license," and while he was doing the other one, I said, "No, you do this." Like y'all are not even saying the same thing, and you're just taking it to some crazy kind of level. Natives mentioned class complied. He still he complied with one officer, but didn't comply with the other. Like I said, they were both saying two different things, and
Mhm.
so he ended up he didn't get arrested. If I remember, he just got handcuffed to the side, but released. It was just like you said. It was a bad look for the police officers when this could have just been a simple write the ticket
And let him go.
and move on with your day. So
But see, again, they wanted to make the news, and they made the news, and now one of them sitting home. We don't know
yeah,
what's going to be the result
he
of
should be.
him.
I mean, I don't go as far as maybe fired. He's like a 27-year vet, but he should definitely be spending some time in suspension, and he should be spending some time with getting trained on how to handle these kind of situations because he did a terrible job. I know they don't like the police officers pay the police unions to get on you, but they should have some sort of
Yeah.
penalty, some sort of fine, because otherwise, why would they get better at doing this than they are right now? So hope like I said, the biggest thing, and I'm happy is that it ended up with no one
Getting
getting
hurt.
seriously hurt, which it
Yeah,
could have been, and we've seen it happen way too many times.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna move
But
on
we
to a
got
brighter situation.
one another news story. This is one
What?
I like that one that you just brought up, but I actually was waiting for you to say something about Jerry Jones coming in like 5 minutes before kickoff
Jerry Jones.
to give our guy Dak Prescott $60 million.
Let me tell you something.
Is he worth
If
it?
Dak don't ever win a game in his life, a Super Bowl, a playoff game, none of it,
Yeah,
Dak is gonna get paid. He is paid for the rest of his life. He is his
yeah.
kids, his grandkids, their kids, whatever. They are set for life because he is getting paid, bro. And you know what? He held out for a long time, and I've been adamant about saying Jerry wasn't gonna pay him. Jerry
Uh-huh.
paid him though. Jerry definitely paid him.
I was surprised.
I was surprised too. Jerry gave him his money now, and Jerry paid CeeDee Lamb. Jerry paid him, and Jerry gonna pay Parsons.
Yeah.
I don't know how you gonna fit
Hey,
those three plus something else.
it reminds me of another team that's paying a whole bunch of people and is going to have to pay their quarterback. What do you think?
Oh,
55 to 60 million
man, let me tell you
dollars.
something. I don't even want to really get on that, but
Right.
you know, as they would say, things got to hit the fan at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Jerry paying three
He
people.
is breaking
We
out the
we, we
bookwork.
paying about we paying about six people like
Mm-hmm.
right now. But at some point, it's gonna hit the fan because the bill will come calling at some point, and you're gonna have to pay it.
Well,
So
you're gonna have to pay, and you're gonna have to win this when you're paying your quarterback $60 million. I think a Super Bowl is a must,
of course,
especially when you're paying that kind of money. I said the same thing about your team. The money they're shelling out, you gotta come back with a Super Bowl on this
I
one.
got to. If you don't, like I was like telling somebody, if that come out there and don't win a playoff game this year,
Yeah,
they're gonna say Dak ain't worth $60 million because he
yeah,
ain't win a playoff game. Like that's the bullseye he put on his head right there because he gonna have to win.
yeah.
And then I'm not saying because he just crossed that 60. He's the first one to hit $60 million. Everybody in that 55 got it. They probably like, whew, relief, baby. We can chill right there. So Tua can go out there and
Mm-hmm.
not win a playoff game because they're gonna say Tua only making 52. But if that go
Only
out there,
52.
I'm just
I
saying. But
know,
you
I
know,
know. But seriously, that's the way the numbers keep going up every time a
yeah,
new quarterback goes. It's
that's
like
what they're gonna say.
insane.
They're gonna say, whoo. Yeah, Tua, you ain't win this
Yeah.
playoff game, but you only making 52. Don't worry about it. Dak over here making 60. So if Dak don't win, Dak is the poster boy for
Uh
not
huh.
winning.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That
he is going to be immediately lambasted across football history. Yeah, Jamal. I know what he's talking about. If you look at stats, you could say, "Wow, Dak's done the same as Patrick Mahomes." But you know what Mahomes has that Dak doesn't?
Super Bowls.
Super Bowls.
That's all that matters.
Super Bowls and playoff wins.
Yep. Super
Compare
Bowls.
compare their stats in the playoffs, and
Yep.
you see the difference. To me, it's still insane that Patrick Mahomes is so poorly paid in this NFL, and
But
he's
he
the
doesn't
only
care
guy
about the money. He
producing.
cares about the championships. He said that
Yep.
many times.
Yeah, so uh, hey,
I
it's
mean,
working out.
and if you want to, like, you can say stats, but a lot of stats are padded.
Hmm.
Um,
Numbers lie.
no, numbers,
Numbers lie.
yes, they do sometimes. And the stats, even from a Dak perspective, right? If you point out the games that Dak were really well last year, Dak only had about 4 or 5 games
Yeah.
where he put up really big numbers.
Hmm.
The other ones were like moderate numbers for real. So
Yeah.
it was like he had one game where he had 300 to 400 yards and 300 yards, but one game he had one something.
Yeah.
So it's like it's certain games he does well. It ain't every week. So if you want to play the numbers and the stacks thing, that's fine. You can play
You
that.
can play it.
But if you see, and that's the thing. I ain't gonna say I'm old, but I'm from the old school, right?
Right.
So old school always taught me from little league is championships matter, stats don't.
There
So
you go.
Mahomes can go out there and win 6 championships or 7 championships. They gonna remember Mahomes before they remember Dak, and that's why they remember. Uh, I'm having a brain fart, but that's why they remember the goat in Tom
Tom Brady?
Brady. Tom Brady.
Are you saying Tom Brady's the GOAT?
I gotta give it to him.
Wow, I think
you
this
heard it
is
here
a
first.
first because like usually you go straight to Joe Montana.
Joe Montana got 4, but if you say GOAT, Tom Brady got 7. So you gotta say Tom Brady got 7, but Tom Brady didn't put up stats
Yeah,
like that those first 2 Super Bowls. But the stats don't matter when you win the Super Bowl.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
You want to talk about the QBR being better is kind of yeah. QBR to me is a fake stat. I don't get into a lot of stats and advanced stats. I look at them, but at the same time they can deceive you. That's why I say
See,
numbers can lie to you and make you
but
think stuff
you're talking
that's
to
not true.
somebody, and you know
Yeah, but it,
me, Jamal, my guy. I respect Jamal, but me and Jamal disagree on a lot of stuff. Jamal is a younger compared to us age wise. He's younger, so they look at stats over wins.
and it can lead you in the right direction. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day, yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna take that winning.
I'll
But
take that winning
but
over
I will
stats.
say this: I would take Dak on my fantasy football team,
Of
and I do
course,
have him in one. Look, I don't care how much they pay him because none of it comes out of my pocket.
sure don't.
So,
So I'm just
well,
saying.
you got any more news
That's
or
all I
what?
got, man. You got no more? What you got? You
Uh,
got anything?
not NFL news, but of
Mm-hmm.
course I got the Darth Vader on. Much
R.I.P.
respect to James Earl
Yeah, he
Jones
died.
going, and then before I let you go, Frankie Beverly, we gotta uh,
Yes.
we gotta listen to some of that
Oh,
tonight. So,
Lord. Oh
what?
God.
All right, let's hit some numbers.
All right, so you know how we do it. If you're new to the show, again, we do top quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. We throw in the tight end and the two, whoever do some work, and we go from there. Um, oh gosh, Jamal, I'm not getting into you with you that. We talking about Jordan, bro. Stop it. 6 matters, bro, not 4. But okay. We're gonna start with Tua. Uh, Tua had 23 of 37 receptions, 338 and a touchdown. Matthew Stafford came out playing well. 34 of
Yeah,
49, 317 and a touchdown. And I'm gonna show some love because I only got 3 today. I'm gonna show some love to Baker Mayfield, man.
you
Baker
should.
Mayfield was 24 of 30 for 289 and 4 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield played really well, and I can't knock Baker Mayfield for what he did last week. He got me, bro. So I have not been a Baker Mayfield fan a lot, but he played well Sunday.
Yeah.
So
Raise your hand if you had Baker Mayfield as throwing the highest number of passing touchdowns in week
I
one.
didn't.
I guarantee you didn't because
I didn't.
hey, but Baker's coming around. I mean, it's
I
weird
mean,
because they paid him money, so this is typically a year when he would start to
that's
be
what I was
terrible
thinking.
and show his true self. But one thing he said, and I hope Shaq is still there. Oh yeah, he is. Wake and
Wake and
bake.
bake. Wake and bake.
Baker Mayfield was like, "Yo, it's kind of cheating. I'm just gonna keep throwing to
I
Mike
just throw it
Evans,"
to him. Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
it's like,
saying.
"Yo,
Like,
my man has figured it out." He's like, "Look, I don't have to be good because Mike Evans is that doggone good." And
yeah,
so, much love to Baker Mayfield. He helped salvage one of my fantasy football teams a year ago. I didn't pick him up anywhere this year, but
wait.
as
I
long
just
as
want to say,
he's there with first ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans, I think Baker you can probably depend on being really good this year.
yeah, I can really appreciate what he did because I actually watched the game
Hmm.
and he was on the money, bro, which was
Yeah,
crazy.
he was really
He
good.
he was he was really good, and I was like, yo, he is hey shredding the defense, bro. I was like, this is crazy. So I was like, hey, there you go. He did work. You got any quarterbacks?
I just want to take a moment personally to say Anthony Richardson on your bold prediction. He got off to a really good start, and
I'm just
so
saying, bro. It's a new
as
day
long
and
as
time for me,
like,
baby.
I just wanted to give you a pat on the back that so far so good on not jinxing him.
Woo.
If he can stay healthy, I think he can continuously put up these kinds of
Oh my god.
numbers.
Did you see what he did? He slipped, bro. He
Yeah,
dropped back, he slipped, and he threw the ball on the rope 60 yards.
insane.
Insane. I
I,
was like, yo, this is crazy.
we got the NFL Sunday ticket this year, this season, and I was just flipping through games the whole time,
Yes, he
having
really
multiple ones up
was.
on the screen.
Yep.
Yo, so I watched a lot of Indianapolis, and
That I'm
yo,
trying to tell you
that dude is
that even, but you know what? That wasn't even the one play,
yeah,
the 60-yard. That the actual touchdown was even crazier.
yeah.
I was like on a rope like that. I was like, oh,
There's a reason there's a lot of hype around him, and it's justifiable when he plays. So as long as you can keep your jinx down, and this kind of you might actually get your first quarterback bowl prediction right.
I
I'm rooting
mean,
for you.
I hope so, man, because he did work, man.
He put in
And I
some
want
work.
to I'm gonna shout out later, but I mean, not right now, but we're gonna
Uh,
shout. I got a quarterback I want to shout out later in hot or not.
okay,
So we're gonna talk about him later.
all right. Where you
We're
going?
gonna
Running backs or wide
go on running
receivers?
backs. Joe Mixon, 30
Hold on, wait.
carries.
Before you go to Joe Mixon, no, Shaq. There's not money over here. Let me tell you how it happened.
Oh
Verizon.
no, no, please don't. No, I'm gonna co-sign on that myself. No, we ain't got money like that, but you could tell the story. I'm chiming in on that. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
Verizon made it possible because our producer needed a new phone, and so when I got her a new phone, the Sunday ticket was included with that. So that is literally the only reason I have it. But I'm enjoying it. I might have to come into somebody if I win the right fantasy leagues this year. I'm putting all my winnings on this Sunday ticket because I
Well,
enjoy that.
I didn't need Sunday ticket, and I watched 4 games at one time, so
Yeah,
I didn't need Sunday ticket. So
I won't
I'm
ask
just,
you.
hey, we can't talk about that
I
though.
won't ask
Yeah.
you. I can
Okay.
imagine, but I won't ask you.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Anyway,
I can show you
Joe Mixon?
screenshots of
Did
how
you say
mine
Joe
was.
Mixon?
I'm just saying. I ain't paid now because
Hey, don't look. Don't have the FBI at your door. You know?
yeah.
Don't
Look,
say too
look,
much. Don't say too
I'm just
much.
good. I'm good
Hey,
over here.
Carla, welcome to the show. Good. By the way, Carla's team put on a show in the women's fantasy football. I like to watch their stats. She gonna make some noise this year.
Okay,
All right,
that's
Joe
good.
Mixon, tell us
Joe
about him.
Joe Mixon looked good in his debut in Houston. 30 carries, 159, a touchdown. Jordan Mason, 28 carries, 147 and a touchdown. And then we got this guy named J.K. Dobbins, 10 carries, 135, a touchdown. But the most amazing part of it is he averaged 13.5 yards a carry, which is insane. Saquon Barkley looked good in his debut, 24 carries, 109, 2 touchdowns. He also caught one. So, and
Mm-hmm.
then we got Ramondre Stevenson, 25 carries, 120 and a touchdown. But I want to give a special shout out to Lamar Jackson. 16 carries,
You keep putting my
122.
man with the running backs.
I mean, he can't put it with the quarterbacks. I mean, geez.
I think that's what he's labeled as. You buying
I,
into the narrative.
I mean, I'm just saying, the man ran the ball. He had 100 yards. So I'm just saying. That's all I got. I mean, out of this list, my surprise person is really, I would say Jordan Mason, but I ain't even gonna say Jordan Mason. I'm gonna say J.K. Dobbins.
J.K.
Where did this
Dobbins.
come
I
from?
mean, we did say this. We didn't advise using a high pick on it, but we did mention in the off season that Harbaugh is going to run the ball.
He's
I'm
gonna run the
sad.
ball.
I'm sad that he ran the ball so effectively against the Raiders because defense is the one thing the Raiders have going for it. And I used to tell the audience all the time, if the plan against the Raiders start the running backs, I would not have told you that this week.
Oh.
And man, did they suffer. But if J.K. Dobbins stays healthy, that's been the only problem with him his career. If he's healthy with that offense, yeah,
That's crazy. Like
J.K. Dobbins is gonna.
he did work, and I don't know if he gonna keep it up, but
Uh,
I mean,
I think he
that
can. Like I said, the only thing that can mess him up is his health. I just want
because
to give
Ed
a
was
shout out. I just want
because
to
Ed
give
was done.
yeah, it was done. I want to give a slight shout out to my man Kenneth Walker III
Oh, he played
because
well too.
that's
Yeah.
another player that injuries have been the only thing holding him back. He put
Yep.
up 103, got a rushing touchdown. He is a key piece to one of my fantasy football teams. And so
Did he get hurt again? Did he get hurt?
not yet.
Oh,
He's
I'm
questionable.
asking.
He's questionable, but he did miss practice. So
Okay, I was just
yeah,
asking
you're right, but I don't think it's serious yet. At
Okay.
least I'm not worried. Get
Okay.
back with me on Friday.
I
Now
will.
that you, I let you know if I still feel that way.
I'm just asking now. I
But
did see a question mark about his name,
right
but I'm
now,
just saying.
I don't think it's gonna be a big factor, but
Mm.
I'm also just being really hopeful because I need my
Okay.
man to do. I need him to be all right.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I ain't mad at that. Ain't mad at that.
All right, what you got?
But we got going to receivers. We got Jaden Reed, 4 receptions, 138 and a touchdown. Hey, he was balling. Got to give it to him.
Balling out, yo.
Tyreek Hill, even after the arrest, I love the celebration.
I know,
Seven
right?
receptions, 130 and a touchdown. Alec Pierce, 8 receptions, 125 and a touchdown. That one big catch was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. Jameson Williams. And I've been
I
on the
was just
Jameson
waiting to see
Williams
how long it was
train
going to take you to get there. I thought you would have
for
started with
years.
Jameson Wilson because you've been on the Jameson Williams
I've been on for
bandwagon.
about 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
I've been saying Jameson Williams is gonna be a good receiver, and everybody keeps saying, man, he ain't, man, he ain't. I'm telling you, the kid is fast, he's good, he's talented. I said, just give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
5 receptions, 121 and a touchdown. And look, man, whoever got Cooper Kupp in the draft, I don't care what round you got him in, late, early, super late.
Yeah.
The man is back, baby. 14 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown. And the thing is, speaking of, like, I'm going to go back to news a little bit, but they saying that Puka may be out, the coach said this, may be out longer than 4 weeks.
Yeah. I would expect him to be, honestly. And this is the thing that bothers. I actually have Cooper Kupp in some leagues, and I have Puka in some other leagues. And I'm starting to think that maybe these two can't coexist at the same time because Puka went off last year because Cooper Kupp got hurt.
Yeah.
And now Puka gets hurt, and Cooper Kupp gets hurt. It's killing me on the inside because I need both of these guys to do well. But I'm very happy with the Cooper Kupp production. Welcome Ventro to the show. Got to start 2 wide receivers. He has George Pickens, Amari Cooper, and DK Metcalf. Who do you like in that group?
That's easy. Pickens and Metcalf.
I was going to say Metcalf is the easiest of easiest. But I like him better than all of them.
I'm a Pickens guy.
Pickens and Amari Cooper, I don't really like either one. And I don't like them because of their quarterbacks. I don't like either. We already started the show, Venture. I don't know if you were with us, but Deshaun Watson is an awful quarterback. So I would go with you on Pickens. I am a little bit hesitant, though, because one of the defenses I picked up this week is the Broncos, because I think they can give Justin Fields some serious problems. Surtain is probably going to be on Pickens a lot. But if I got to pick between those three, for me, it's an easy DK. I'm with you, DK and Pickens, because as much as I am concerned about how Justin Fields is going to play against that Denver defense, I like him a lot more than I like who's throwing the ball to Amari Cooper. And I have Amari Cooper on the team as well. And I'm a Cooper guy, despite the fact he left my Raiders in the lurk. But that's water under the bridge. But I'm not trusting Deshaun Watson, like, literally at all. I like Amari Cooper once they make that switch to Jameis Winston, which hopefully happens in the next few weeks. Thanks for the question. Appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so.
I say Pickens. I like, obviously, DK, but I like Pickens. I think it's going to be a situation where they're going to have to get him open somehow. Yeah. Because that's what they did last week. They got him open for 2 big plays because they had to move him around. They can't keep him on one side and expect him to get open. They have to move him to the slot. They got to move him to the left, the right. They got to do something to make it work, because you're not going to expect Justin Fields just to sit back there and hike the ball and do a 3-step drop and just throw it down the field to him, because it's just not going to happen. So you got to really, for me, you got to move him in different areas to make it work.
But you know who the offensive coordinator is over there?
I do, but again.
Yeah. I know you're speaking the gospel. Can Arthur Smith do it? And
no.
That was my biggest concern with the Steelers this offseason. And Carla, I know you're a fan. I'm glad they won that first game for you all. But I don't know how you go from Matt Canada to Arthur Smith and think you made an improvement. He has about as much offensive creativity as the Raiders offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, who for some reason thinks throwing screens all day long and check downs with Gardner Minshew is going to move the offense. I don't like these guys that don't have imagination, but they keep getting jobs.
But for me, I think with Pittsburgh, you can't like they won a game last week just because they played a bad team.
Yeah.
Let's just keep I mean keep it 100 now. But they won it strictly off of defense, running the ball, and they passed just a little bit enough to say they passed the ball.
By the
Now they
way,
ran the
who's the
ball
leading
40.
rusher on that team?
Justin Fields.
No, the running backs.
Whatever.
Is it a guy named Najee
It was not.
and not Jalen Warren?
Jalen Warren's on the kick return. He ain't really see much, but I'm just saying.
I'm
All
just
I'm,
saying. Yeah,
all I'm saying is this:
that,
you ran the ball 41
yeah.
times last week. You can't continue to run the ball 41 times
He's
and
Arthur Smith.
expect to
Yes,
win
he can.
games.
Expect to win games.
To win
Okay,
games.
I
No,
got you.
can't.
Yeah.
And in that to expect to win games, you have to. At some point, they're gonna make you pass. And and I did say earlier, Justin Fields, from a young age perspective, should be the starter. That's the only way Russ helps you because Russ will sit back there and throw the ball.
Yeah.
Other than that, Russ don't help you for nothing else. But if you asking, like I say, Justin Fields should be the starter. But I'll go Pickens just because I'm a Pickens guy.
We end up at the same spot. I'm with you. Pickens is
Yeah.
the right choice as well as DK Metcalf.
So I'm a Pickens guy. But yeah, that's just what's up.
Did you want to give any love to tight ends? Because it's not.
I do.
Okay, good. Because it's only one.
There's only one.
It's only one. Go for it.
And I don't know if he's a tight end. I think he's the number 2 receiver, to be honest with you. Isaiah Likely. And I've been on the Isaiah Likely train for 2 years too. Isaiah Likely was supposed to be good last year, but they didn't use him correctly.
I don't know why it took them this long to figure out keep both of those tight ends on the field.
He's not a tight end, bro. He is a receiver because he doesn't block.
Fantasy football calls him a tight end, so we're gonna go with it.
He plays. I ain't gonna call him the X receiver.
Yeah,
but he's definitely he's the slot receiver because you would never see him line up on the line as a blocking tight end. He's a tight end that catches. So, and definitely,
and he's also a tight end who needs white cleats. If you watch the end of that game.
Well, he wasn't the only one that stepped out of bounds too. I mean, a couple other people did it too, but I don't think white cleats would have changed anything. Yeah,
but it's funny.
It is funny. They still would have caught him out, but it would have been an amazing catch.
Yeah. It looked good until they showed the replay. I was like,
yes.
Nope.
Now, let me ask you this now.
Yeah.
Does that affect, moving forward, does it affect Mark Andrews?
A lot, I think.
Okay.
Because if you drafted Mark Andrews as maybe the third or fourth tight end off the board, you were very disappointed with what you got from him. I think there's enough in this new offense for them both to succeed, but we already know that if there's a complaint on Lamar Jackson, 2 complaints on Lamar Jackson.
2 complaints. Not one, but 2.
He's not always the most accurate passer, which is why they needed that last minute pass to try to win the game. But even more than that, he gets locked in. And so
to one player.
And so if Likely is the hot hand, just like we saw the other night, you might just see Mark Andrews out of it. So hopefully he starts spreading it around and gives enough of these guys love. But yeah.
I mean, honestly, but for me, I think I ain't gonna say I'm not a big Lamar fantasy fan, but I think Lamar can have if he just because you have basically you have three receivers at your disposal. Mark Andrews, Likely, and Zay Flowers. Now we don't know about Bateman. Bateman is hit and miss. He shows up whenever he wants to. We don't know.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, can he stay healthy? But technically, they have 3 weapons.
They have 3.
So if you're telling me Likely, because I don't consider
4 if you count Justice Hill, by the way.
Yeah, out the backfield.
Yeah.
Now, but I'm talking just strictly receivers.
Yeah, just receiving tight end guy and a guy.
But if you're telling me, because I don't count Likely as a tight end because he's in the slot a lot, so he's facing either that safety or either a linebacker, something like that, to where he has more of an advantage, height-wise, speed-wise, over those guys. So I think you can get all of them involved.
You definitely can.
You got to know the play calling got to be there first of all to get them involved. Now Zay Flowers got a bunch of targets. He got 10 targets that game. So It ain't like he wasn't involved. He just didn't make a lot of use of it.
Right.
And he missed a lot of wide
But
open
but
guys
but I
too.
do like the fact that he got that many targets because that kind of a lot of times if you look at the stats we go back to, I
Yeah.
like for my wide receivers to say, okay, maybe they didn't have a good game, but it's the quarterback looking in their direction because
Yes.
it may not have worked that this week, but next week if they're gonna still get that kind of target share, those are the kind of guys you want to pick up. So I'm with you.
Yeah. So I think it can work, and
Yeah,
Lamar could have if he just gets him involved. They can be. You can't focus on Mark Andrews or Likely or Zay
yeah,
Flowers. You got to kind of pick your poison at that point, and then you got to think about it. You already got to pick your poison in the backfield because you got a running quarterback and a running back that can't run the football. So it's like they can be dangerous if they just made it a
yeah.
certain way and did it right. So yeah, um, but yeah,
Well, those are some hot guys. Do you have some guys that did not perform up to?
Jamal, I'm gonna hurt your feelings on this one, dog. I am, and I'm gonna stick to my guns on this
I
one.
know what you're gonna say, and I
You
hate you
know,
for it, but go
I'm,
for
I'm
it.
gonna stick my guns because this is what I do. People don't like when I say stuff, but your boy Caleb Williams didn't look good. Um, and I don't want to hear it was
Yeah,
week one, and he looked good in the preseason, but I kept trying to tell y'all that he played second and third string players that they might not even see the field this year. Some of them might even not be on the team. So therefore, he tried to run that bootleg and run around like he was doing something at USC, and he got sacked. I'm just saying the boy. I'm not saying he is trash. I ain't say that.
you
I'm not
kind of
saying
are.
I ain't saying he ain't gonna be good. I'm just saying when the real bullets start flying, that's when we gonna see the real him because it wasn't just those plays. He missed a lot. Now he had one or two where the ball got dropped. Now let's say that
Yeah,
now. But other than that, he missed a lot of plays didn't go his way because of him throwing the football to them. Now you want to say because he got all these weapons, but one of his weapons already hurt. And is hurt, and he week to week.
yeah,
And I think one of them is out of practice. He missed practice today. Um, one came from the Chargers.
yeah. Mike, I'm about to say Mike Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is.
Look, you said hurt, and Mike Williams was the first thing that popped in my head. Like, no, wrong team, wrong team.
See, there you go.
Yeah,
You want to stick up for your boy Caleb? I know you do. Go ahead. I got you. I got you.
Jamal, I got your back for real because last week you missed it. Like you said, you didn't see the. I got Caleb Williams is going to end the season as the number
No,
one
no, he's not.
passer in Chicago Bears history, and
Not throwing for 96 yards.
I
Not,
stand boldly
not,
on my
not,
bold prediction. It
not
was
throwing
a
for
look,
96 yards.
there's no question about it. He was hot garbage that first
Thank you.
game. Caleb Williams was terrible, and I told you
See,
about my Sunday ticket. I spent the whole time watching, saying, "Caleb, do something. Give me something."
but hold up. Third man. Before you say that now, before you say that third man,
but he
Marvin
uh,
Harrison Jr. can't throw himself the football. Now, if you watch the play, Marvin Harrison Jr. was open on that last drive. I mean, he was
still
wide open.
don't cut me off when I'm defending Caleb Williams. We're gonna come to look. We're doing all the not player. Marvin Harrison is gonna have his moment, and we're gonna give it to him. But right now, I'm telling you why Caleb Williams is gonna get better.
What's trash? Okay, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
No defense of how horrible he played.
Okay.
But despite your saying so, it was week one. It was his first game. He had to get the butterflies out, and he's going to. Caleb Williams is going to be better. You can't look at what he's done and say that's the top of what his performance would be. He had a bad week. We're gonna put that to the side. We're gonna hope that he can have a bit of time in practice to get himself feeling better, feeling more comfortable. And you're going to see a big turnaround because they play the Texans this week. And that Texans defense gave up a lot of points to Anthony Richardson. I think they're going to give up a lot to Caleb Williams again. So Jamal, don't feel bad. Don't be afraid. Now, I will say, if you have Caleb Williams starting in a one quarterback league, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Wait a
he's,
minute. You just
he's,
did all
he's,
of this to say.
he's for two quarterback leagues right
Wait a minute.
now.
Hold on. I'm just
He's a
saying.
two quarterback super flex guy, but you give him some time, and he's gonna bring back that production that Jamal and I believe Caleb Williams is possible of achieving.
So hold up. So I want to say this now because everybody looked at me like I was crazy when I said I'm gonna get to this Marvin Harrison Jr. thing because I want to talk
Yeah,
about that.
you can talk about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
now,
No,
but
no, no, no,
just know
no. I
Caleb
want to
Williams
finish.
is gonna be all
I
right.
want to. I want to finish my Caleb
You're
statement.
you're overreacting, sir.
No, 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 no. No, I'm
Welcome
not.
Jasper Lewis, the senior,
No, no, I'm not.
to the
No,
show. And yes,
I'm
how
not.
about those Eagles? But
I'm
yes,
not. Hold up. I'm
keep
not over
spewing
it.
your hatred about Caleb
It's not
Williams.
hatred. I'm just trying to tell
It's
you.
hatred.
I tried to tell somebody this over and over and over and over. It is the same offensive line that
It's
Justin
not good.
Fields played behind. I said Justin Fields was running for
His
his
life.
life.
Yes.
For 3 years, he was running for his life. They did not make a change in the offensive line.
They
What
got
was
a lot
Caleb
of
doing?
toys for him to play with, but they did not get protection, which is the
What
most
was Caleb
important
doing?
thing.
Caleb was
Running
running
for his
for
life.
his life the whole entire game. And it's not gonna get better because the old line has not changed. You can buy a brand new car, but if the engine is terrible, it's not gonna run. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, you can put new wheels and rims, tinted windows. You can put all that on the car. But if that engine ain't right or that oil ain't changed, it ain't working. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So therefore, you can, and then you still got the same coach that was there with Justin Fields. So until they change the O line, until they get a new coach, Caleb is gonna look like Justin Fields. So what they gonna do 3 years from now if it's the same thing? Oh, it ain't Caleb. Oh, it's Caleb's fault.
Everflus won't be there in 3 years. I guarantee you that.
So this is what I'm saying. Joe Burrow was to a Super Bowl, bro. You can't compare the two. Stop it. So I don't even want to hear that. Now let's get to this Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
thing.
let's talk Marvin Harrison Jr. because you're a hater.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
You switch your hate from Aaron Rodgers to Caleb Williams, but it's okay.
No.
It's all right. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
was wide open
was.
on that last play to tie the game, bro. He was wide open. Caleb was in the pocket. Kyler
Murray.
Kyler Murray was in the pocket dancing around trying to find somebody.
Running for his life, much like Caleb Williams. Keep going.
But this guy came out today and said, it's not my responsibility to focus on one receiver. Bro,
which is true.
That is not true. He was your best receiver.
It's true. It's not his job, but it is his job to get the ball to his best players. And that
didn't happen.
That did not happen. I'm with you. I didn't like the statement, but I'm not a big Kyler guy. I have Kyler on one of my fantasy football teams out of necessity, but I wasn't happy about drafting. I don't have a lot of confidence in him, but I'm hoping they can get on the same page. I wish he had worded that a lot better.
Yeah, that's what he said. My thing is, in third man, I'm with you on some stuff, but Marvin Harrison Jr. can't throw himself the football. That's the difference in Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Because Caleb Williams has all the receivers around him that's supposed to make him look excellent.
But you said if you don't have the engine and the oil change, then none of that matters.
None of that matters.
So much like it's not Marvin Harrison Jr.'s fault, I guess you're saying that it's not all Caleb Williams' fault also.
But
I'm with you.
Point,
you are right.
Hold up. There you go. Jamal's point. Hold up there.
We're done.
Jamal's point.
Who else was bad this week?
Hold up. He said Joe Barrow's been running around his whole life in his career because they ain't had no line. But Joe Barrow also went to a Super Bowl with a horrible O-line because he was running around for his life. And he had two good receivers and made it work. That's the difference. We don't know how well Caleb's going to be. The hype train was real. But again, I kept telling y'all, at USC, he was trash his last year.
Yeah.
Juice.
At the bottom. He wasn't trash.
Man, you can really hear the hate in your voice you have for Caleb like you used to have for other players.
Yeah.
Even
That's all
though you
right.
keep saying no, because you keep saying but the but negates everything you say. But I'm just listening to your voice like you went to
I
an
love it.
octave
Girl, that's
so
what I'm
high.
talking about, girl. Come at me, girl. Let's go.
Yeah.
No,
I love
I'm
it.
not. No, no, no. I'm not even coming at you.
She's just saying you're a hater.
I'm not even
That's
trying to
fine.
be like that. I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm just hearing your voice.
The
It's
I
hatred.
think
just,
he's trash.
it's just your
I'm sorry.
inflections. You can tell you have like a thing against him. I'm
I
not.
just
I'm
don't.
not trying to come. I'm really not really trying to go there at all. I'm just listening to your tone,
Look,
and
look,
your tone is really
I
anti-Caleb,
just don't. I
regardless
just
of what
don't
he
think he's a good
does.
quarterback. And
look.
people, the thing is, it's like this. Okay,
I
people
mean,
try
you
to
don't
push.
even have to explain. You've already went there. I'm just making a statement. You can
I get you.
hear the you have for
Yeah,
him
I
in
think
your
he's.
voice.
I don't
That's
think
all
he's a
I'm
good
saying.
quarterback. I think because people pushed him so much down people's throat, like he was supposed to be
But
this
I mean,
guy,
but how many times do they push players down
Yeah.
their throat? They do
and
this all the
and,
time. This is
and
nothing new.
most
This
of the
is
time, I don't like those
professional
guys.
sports. So
Most,
I
most.
mean, I guess I'm just coming at you saying, just let it go. He's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
do
right.
wha- he's gonna do.
That's true.
Just let it go. But I mean, the hate
Hey,
and
hey.
the
We,
GER that you have
we
for
can't let
him,
it go because
this I mean, well, but I'm just saying,
look
but like
because he has to keep saying
it's
hate, and
so
me and Caleb Williams
raw.
are gonna prove him right. Wrong. I mean, wrong.
I'm
Because
just
Caleb
saying,
Williams
like,
is.
let
You will
the
just
man.
wait and see.
I'm just saying, let the man do whatever. Really, you shouldn't judge somebody. I always believe this. Don't give judgment on any
Yeah.
player, regardless of year, what they've done in the past, until like week 4 or 5. Then, to me, you can make a better judgment. The first week games for anybody doesn't mean anything because it's just week 1.
Week
Yeah.
Isn't
two,
that the point?
he's
We,
gonna be
we,
better in week 2. Trust me.
okay, when he bad in week
That's,
2, then I'm gonna say the same thing then. So
Now
uh,
you need to wait till week 4 or 5. Then you can come back with something. It's okay. So this is the scientist in me. One data point does not prove a line. It
that's
doesn't prove
true.
a circle. It doesn't prove a parabola. It proves nothing.
parabolas.
I need at least 3 data points before I can draw something on my graph. We have nothing
Now,
on the graph right now. So what are you doing?
now I get
Chill.
you. I get you.
Let the
I'm
man
just
do
saying.
whatever he
I'm
wants
just
to
saying
do.
from a football standpoint. For me,
Nope. You don't have no points to draw no line.
yeah,
So just stop
no,
drawing the line.
from a
Stop
football,
drawing the line.
See, Sydney,
College doesn't count.
we
Don't even
family,
go back to
you
his
know,
USC
you
days.
know, I
College is
respect you.
not. That's
But
a whole different piece of graph paper.
Can I?
from a foot, from a football standpoint,
Mm-mm.
I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying.
Now
I
you
don't
saying
think
a
he's a
lot
good
more in your
quarterback.
statements. Trust me.
That's
You
all.
not.
I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's overrated.
Mm-mm.
Plain and simple. And everybody has an opinion to think whatever they want to think about a player. I think he's overrated. Period. Point blank. I feel that way about a lot of players.
Yeah, but I ain't never heard you have the grr that you have for him. Though.
I did it for Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rod- Which
Aaron
was
Rodgers.
going to be
You
the
did
next
have a guard for
quarterback
Aaron
I brought
Rodgers.
up on players
Aaron
who are
Rodgers.
hot and
Always.
not.
My thing is, Aaron Rodgers has been overrated for years. He hasn't won anything.
Well, he
What
won that
has
one.
he won?
He won that one.
That he won one Super Bowl in the last 12 or 13 years, and people want to put him on a pedestal like he's this guy, but he's not though. So what are we talking about? That's not hate.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Like Jamal says, you just don't like the way he paints his
That's
fingernails.
what I was laughing at too.
It has
But-
nothing to do with his fingernail. It's the fact that Caleb Williams has been put on a pedestal and like he was this great quarterback, the next Mahomes, but we find out he's nothing. So what
Wow.
when we find out he's nothing? Then
Nothing?
what?
Man.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so now I'm saying the person behind me, do you hear this?
So now let me go to the next of our hot and nots.
Yeah, let's go.
And I was going to bring up Aaron Rodgers. And not just Aaron Rodgers, but that offense with him and Garrett Wilson, who was one of the top wide receivers. Are you concerned about the Green Bay's offense, or do you think that was just a 1 week bad looking game?
They played a really good defense.
They did.
But again, when you have a quarterback that's not mobile and you have an O-line that is semi-okay but not great, you're going to have those issues. Because if you watch the game and you see when Tyrod got in the game, the offense looked better with Tyrod than it did with what Aaron Rodgers did. So when you have a quarterback and not knocking his age, but he's old. Like, He's 40 years old with no mobility coming off of Achilles injury.
Right.
You know what an Achilles injury does to you when you come back. Just go back and watch Kobe. Kobe never was the same player after the Achilles injury. So your movement is slower, your cutting is
Uh-huh.
slower. So at the end of the day, if you can't move in a pocket, because he looked like he was in quicksand.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they relied all of this on a 40-year-old quarterback
Uh-huh.
to win games. Now, the rest of their team, Brees Hall, Garrett
Yeah.
Wilson, they're good players. Don't get me wrong, but if your quarterback is stuck in the mud and he can't move out of the pocket and you can't get time to throw, then yes, they're going to have problems then. I don't think now the good thing about it is the rest of their schedule for the next couple of weeks is fairly easy.
Yeah, they're not going to play a 49ers team anymore.
Yeah, so they got a fairly easy schedule coming up. But I'm just saying.
But before we talk about first ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans, so we can all agree, Shaq kind of be the peacemaker. Let's stay on Green Bay. Are you buying into the Alan Lazard? Because one of the big pickups a lot of people did this week was Alan Lazard, because you know how Aaron Rodgers, I think you are the one that said he likes to peg in on his guys that he's familiar with, and he has the rhythm and the chemistry already with Lazard. If you're a Garrett Wilson person, are you concerned at all?
No, I just think I wouldn't be, because Garrett Wilson really got a lot of the touches, targets, the first two quarters. I mean, Lazard didn't get a catch in probably to the end of the second quarter, maybe.
He got two touchdowns, though.
Yeah, but that was late in the game, and one of them was from Tyrod. And so Tyrod don't got no type of discord with nobody else. So he was pretty much just throwing to whoever. Now Aaron Rodgers was throwing to Garrett Wilson quite a bit in that first quarter. The first and second quarter.
60 yards. Not bad.
Not bad.
Definitely not what people were looking for.
But they didn't have time. They weren't on the field most of the time anyway.
True.
So if you're not on the field, you can't throw on the ball. So it's like, when you think about it, well, I don't think it affects Garrett Wilson, because I think Garrett Wilson going to get his lion's share of the targets regardless, just because he's the number one guy, and he already said it. Aaron Rodgers said the two guys that's going to eat the most on that team is Garrett Wilson and why am I having a brain fart? God dang it. The running back.
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall.
Yeah.
And Brees Hall. Those are going to be the two guys that's really going to eat.
They should.
The whole time. And that's what he said out of his own mouth. Mm-hmm. So Lazard is not an afterthought, but he's there because Garrett Wilson at some point is going to get double teamed because he's throwing the ball to him. And if everybody wants to say I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater, if you go back and think about how Aaron Rodgers does anything, he throws to one receiver the most. Going back to your days in Green Bay, Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. Devontae Adams got most of the targets in Green Bay when he was there. The next wide receiver probably got 50 targets to Devontae's 100 and something. So it's going to be that big disparity. It's going to be that big difference between Garrett Wilson and but you still got Mike Williams there coming back, which could be.
We'll see.
We'll see, but
we'll see how long that lasts.
I just think that was I ain't gonna say it was a one-off, but it could be rushing to get him. I don't think that's a big deal.
I can respect.
For me personally, I won't rush to get him because we still don't know.
Right, my father's also saying that you're overreacting.
I just don't like Caleb. Sorry.
I know you don't, but you're fine.
Yeah, we all know that.
You'll come around to our side.
No, I won't.
No, because he's not gonna do it out of spite, regardless of what happens.
No. I won't come around Caleb. Sorry.
Who else you got?
So let's do some pick ones.
I'm ready.
This is more obviously these are two established quarterbacks, but we're going to have a conversation because both of them did not play well. Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert?
I don't understand for the life of me how Cincinnati lost that game to New England.
I do.
I don't want to overreact. I don't want to overreact. That's the thing we're trying not to do this week. But it has to be concerned. know why Justin Herbert didn't throw for a lot because
Mm-hmm.
that's not their game plan. So if
Mm-hmm.
I have to pick one, I'm gonna say Joe Burrow was just in a bad week. The yellow dye got too far into his brain,
Wow.
and
He went there with that
he's gonna get better, especially once we
one.
get T Higgins back in the lineup. Uh, I think Joe Burrow can improve. Justin Herbert, he does not have wide receivers for real, and so I'm a little bit more because I think he's gonna also be all right because as that running game gets moving, it's gonna open up for the receivers. They're just not that good. So
Mhm.
hopefully Justin Herbert gets better. But if I got to pick between the two, I'm Joe Burrow. Who you got between them?
I'm gonna say Joe Barrow slightly because I just feel like, and this may sound crazy, but I think T Higgins is hurt enough to where he can't play? I doubt it. I think T Higgins is looking out more for himself because of the contract year that he's in. And he don't want to go out there fully.
Yeah.
He don't want to go out there until he's fully healthy, and I understand it. So, um, I think it's going to be a thing where because both his receivers are playing for a contract, so it's more of a disgruntled thing
Mm-hmm.
for me. Um, but I think just because they're better receivers than with anything they got with the Chargers, I will pick Joe Barrow.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard for me to say Justin Herbert is going to be really averaging 200 yards a game. Not even that, because I don't even think he had 200 yards.
It,
I think he may have had a like under 200 yards for the game, and they didn't really score until the fourth quarter.
they looked really bad, which
Yeah.
just is bizarre to me. Um, I gotta pick one for people that lost Puka, mainly myself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, this first week. Who do you like?
Don't steal my
Brandon?
thunder. Don't steal
Huh?
my thunder.
I was
Don't
gonna say
steal my thunder.
I can't say Brandon Cooks.
Go ahead. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
I was, I was gonna say Brandon Cooks or a guy we talked about earlier. Are you picking up Alec Pierce?
I think Alec Pierce was probably one because after that catch he didn't do nothing.
No.
I'm gonna say Brandon Cooks. I'm gonna say
I
Brandon Cooks.
across different leagues, I actually picked up both of them. uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh, depending on not in the same league, but I like Brandon Cooks. I think he'll be probably more reliable. But I am interested in Alec Pierce because a couple of years ago when he was a rookie, I was big on Alec Pierce because like
Mm-hmm.
he's DK Metcalf almost in his size and speed. Uh, they just didn't have a quarterback that could get him the ball
Mm-hmm.
because it was Matt Ryan
Oh yeah.
and
Later on in his
a
career.
whole host of other guys that they tried that year. And then last year was Gardner Minshew, who's the
Yeah.
check down king.
King.
Uh,
Lord.
if if Anthony Richardson stays healthy this year, it could be one of those big bounce years for Alec Pierce because they gel together in their skill set. I still think he's probably like the third wide receiving option on that team, which is why if you pick him up, he's a flex guy that you just stash on your bench to see whether
Mm-hmm.
he can keep the momentum going. But Brandon Cooks would be the one I chose between the two.
But do you think Josh Downs being hurt
Yeah,
affect
definitely,
has something to do with him being
definitely.
like successful last week?
But hey, Cooper Cup being hurt is why Puka blew up.
Yeah.
So maybe you can see that same kind of thing happen with him.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the rookie coming in too could take away from Alec too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would go more Brandon Cooks because
Brandon Cooks, like we always say, is the more reliable.
yeah,
He's a steady kind of guy who you don't think about, but he'll put up at least 800 to 1,000 yards. Jamal, I also had Alec Pierce on the dynasty team. I dropped him because he and then I think the other wide receivers pit like you just named all the ones that I think are higher
yeah,
on the list. But I've got an eye on Alec Pierce, and I did pick him up in one league just to see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
he's a
got one,
stash. He's a stash.
J.K. Dobbins or Jordan Mason.
J.K. Dobbins, because he has no one better than him on that roster.
Okay.
I think Mason is dependent on CMC. Now, I reserve the right to switch to Jordan Mason if we find out the CMC thing
Okay.
is more serious. I'm really, really concerned about CMC. And
I am
like I
too.
said at the beginning, these are the years when he's that top guy in everybody's mind, especially after the production he had last year. You don't see guys keep that kind of those kinds of numbers up. There's always some regression, and
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that I think CMC is at risk of breaking down this year. And so right now, J.K. Dobbins, if I find out that CMC is actually broken down, I switch it to Jordan Mason because he already showed in that offense he can be the man.
I don't see. This is a tough one for me,
Mm-hmm.
even from a fan perspective, because I know the situation with Jordan Mason and possibly CMC coming back. I just I want to say Jordan Mason, but I'm gonna lean more towards J.K. Dobbins because you're right, he has nothing there. But my only concern with J.K. Dobbins is J.K. Dobbins get hurt.
Yeah,
That's one of the big problems with J.K. Dobbins. But both of them have issues.
yeah,
Jordan Mason has a McCaffrey issue. When McCaffrey comes back, McCaffrey's going to get those 20 to 25
yeah,
carries, and he's not going to see. I'm not saying he ain't going to see the field, but he ain't going to see the field like he
yeah.
would see the field with no McCaffrey there.
100%.
So it's tough for me. I'm I'm gonna lean just slightly to J.K.
Yeah,
Dobbins,
slightly.
slightly.
I'm with you.
Um,
It's all CMC dependent.
yes,
Yeah,
long as J.K. is healthy, because I think this whole Gus Edwards thing is out the window now. You have to,
yeah.
you got to
I
put him
mean,
to the side.
honestly, J.K. Dobbins is a better running back than Gus
Back to Jake.
Edwards.
Yeah,
It's
of
just
course.
while they both have had health issues, J.K. Dobbins has been more of a health risk than Gus Edwards. And I think that's the only reason people were kind of going in between the two. But if they're both healthy, there's no way in the world Gus Edwards is better than J.K. Dobbins. So
Well, I mean, because think about it. I don't know from a McCaffrey standpoint if they would allow, if McCaffrey's healthy,
no,
would they allow him to cut into
not even
McCaffrey's carries?
not even a little bit.
So, and that's also the thing. Like, I don't think McCaffrey would want to come out the game because he know Jordan Mason is behind him and what he can do.
hmm
Now, is it because Jordan Mason played? I don't know if you consider the Jets a good defense or a bad defense or in between, but is it because I think he ran hard. I think he ran well.
Right.
I think he did his thing, and it may have been not to knock him, but I think the defense just didn't play well.
No,
The
they
Jets.
sure enough didn't.
So
So
now, if Jordan Mason does it again, do we have an issue going forward if McCaffrey still sits out? And I had this question earlier for somebody. If Jordan Mason, we talked about it earlier. If Jordan Mason goes for 500 yards, 600 yards before McCaffrey comes back and he's out 4 or 5 weeks, do they just send Jordan Mason back to the bench? Or is it going to be a McCaffrey gets 15 carries, he gets
you're,
15
you're,
carries?
you're paying one of them $19 million. There you
What I'm saying is you can't, that type.
that's the answer. You're paying one of them $19 million.
But that talent, but like people are rushing
$19 million.
to pick up Jay. Like we
Yeah.
seen a guy in the league drafted, he traded 2 picks for Jordan Mason, not knowing if
But
that's going to
look,
be
look,
a situation where that's.
that's not the example we want to use because we
Oh
know.
no, that's a bad example.
No, I'm just saying that person is trade happy. Yo,
Yeah,
before we continue with Jordan Mason, welcome Nick Perone to the show. Instead of picking one, we're picking two here. PPR, we got Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, David Montgomery. By the way, I don't know what happened to Montgomery in the second half of
yeah, he went
that
crazy.
game, but they brought him back to play in overtime, and he took the game over. It's like,
Yeah,
why haven't y'all been run? I love Jameer Gibbs. I don't know why they didn't give Montgomery the ball a lot more. Maybe something was going on. But let me continue. We had Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, David Montgomery, Alan Lazard, who we talked about earlier, and Christian Kirk. Who you like for those two players?
DK, and I'm going David Montgomery.
I was
Lockett
I was really
play well.
impressed with Lockett that first week because a lot of people had him going down to being the third wide receiver under
Yeah.
JSN and DK. But Tyler Lockett just keeps saying I'm not going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, um, I definitely have David Montgomery on my list. I, I I don't know how long you've been watching the show, Nick, but I've been a
David
Montgomery
Montgomery
guy
fan
forever.
ever.
I am huge on Montgomery. I think he's one of the most underrated running backs in the league. He's just a battering ram, and he just runs hard. So I have him, and I would start him with no hesitation whatsoever. I'm trying to think between Tyler Lockett and DK, which one of those. Uh, if I'm trying not to overreact, then I guess I'd say DK Metcalf because he should be the better of the two. I was really
Yeah,
impressed with Geno Smith that
I
first
was
week.
too.
I hope he continues to be
Yeah.
that kind of good. Um, but I kind of want to say, for PPR purposes, Tyler Lockett because he always produces, and he is a PPR monster. He may not have the size or the incredible DK speed, but Geno Smith is, Geno. I think Tyler Lockett fits his skill set, so I'm gonna.
He said, "Fuck it."
Eh, eh,
Yeah,
hey,
wait a minute.
Lockett wasn't watched last week,
Oh Lord,
so
Rodgers for MVP. Okay.
so not, so thanks for the question, Dave. We appreciate definitely David Montgomery, and then we kind of split on Tyler Lockett or DK. I don't
Yeah.
think you're gonna really go wrong with either one of those guys this week, but you probably drafted DK a lot sooner,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so trust your drafting instincts
And
and
go
go
deep.
DK
Okay.
Metcalf, despite the
Yeah.
fact that I really love Tyler Lockett. And no, Dr. Barry McCockiner, Tyler Lockett is not washed, but we appreciate the comment.
Yeah, that's funny.
Rodgers is not gonna get MVP based on what we saw. But I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get better. I think, like you said, he's coming off that ACL, so we got to give him some time to be better.
Yo, wait a minute. Yo, he is funny.
Aw,
Oh God.
I'm going to just ignore the time.
Yo, wait a minute, yo.
A lot of comedy coming from the good doctor.
Yeah, ain't it?
Hey, Nick, hey, we appreciate you. Thank you
Oh
for asking the
gosh.
question.
Like and subscribe. That was funny. That was
All right,
funny.
I think it was me on the pick was
Oh,
right now.
okay,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
even
you.
remember at this point.
Yeah, it's
Um,
you.
I got two running backs for you:
Okay.
Alexander Madison or Justice Hill. If you're trying to fill in a
Oh,
flex spot,
jeez. I'm gonna say Justice Hill.
you chose correctly.
I'm gonna say Justice Hill.
I
Justice Hill, just because they really don't want to run
I was gonna. They don't want to run.
Derrick Henry 30 times. So uh they saying they want to limit not limit his
They
carries, but
don't
they don't
want.
want to run
They said
him
they're not. They didn't bring in Derrick Henry to run the ball 30
30 times.
times. Yeah,
So he's gonna get a lot of catches, especially if they're ever down. I think he's gonna be the third down back more than Derrick Henry. So
yeah.
yeah, I would go with him.
I think Justice, and they said this before the season that Justice Hill was going to be a a big part of that offense,
Hmm.
and I expect that to continue. Alexander Madison, though, I was very impressed with. The one thing I think we can say from that first week, and like I said, try not to overact too much. I don't think they have a running back with the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that is the definition of a
Okay.
committee. It's going to be a lot of Zeus. It's going to be a lot of Alexander Madison. When Dylan Lobby gets back, I think he's going to get thrown in the mix a lot. Jamal apparently thinks Alexander Madison, I guess, is the right answer. He's
Okay.
because you want C plus Justice Hill. I want consistent part of the offense Justice
Offense.
Hill. Uh,
Yes.
Alexander Madison that has committee all over it, but I do like Alexander Madison. I think he was involved in the offense a lot more. I'm concerned when Dylan Lobby gets back whether that eats into some
He said
of
he
what we
is
saw.
dirt. Lord
Zamir White,
mercy.
I don't know if he's dirt. He wasn't good.
He said he's dirt. Lord mercy.
Zamir White was not good, um, and there's no defense for it. Yeah, I expected a lot more from him. I thought they made a mistake letting Josh Jacobs go.
They did.
And we saw what Josh Jacobs
Josh Jacobs
did
look good.
in that game. Josh Jacobs looks really good. He ain't done
Yeah.
yet. I'm hoping Zamir White gets better, but for me, I think that running back room is going to be hard to pick a guy consistently from week to week, and that's why I like the upside, like you're saying, from Alexander Madison. I don't think you're going to depend on that. I think you can depend on Justice Hill getting a consistent amount of carries.
And
Um,
that's my statement too. I feel like
what?
Madison he didn't really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a Madison guy at one point.
Yeah.
Like I was a Madison guy. I believed in Alex Madison, honestly. Uh, but for me, the more consistent. He wasn't consistent for me
Yeah.
because when he got opportunities in Minnesota, which was a better team, no offense to you, but was a better O line than the Raiders.
Why would I be offended? The Raiders are awful.
So, but it was a better O
Yeah.
line than what the Raiders have,
Yeah.
and he
That's
still didn't really do work
and that's
like
what
that. So
we got Fupa Doncic. Welcome to the show. And I like to go. Yeah, like you said, he didn't do anything when
he
Dalvin
didn't do
Cook
nothing.
was out.
So we don't know if he can do it on a consistent basis. Now, like you said, maybe somebody may get hot, but honestly, like Madison only had what 4 carries? It wasn't that many
It wasn't
carries.
a lot, but
It
he got
wasn't
a
a
lot of
lot.
receptions, and that's where
Yeah,
he ended up doing some work.
but that's the offense though. That's the offense because it's more
Well,
of a.
the offense is Gardner Minshew can't throw the ball down the
But
field,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
they get a
That's the
dink and they
offense.
get a dunk,
He can
and
dunk down the
Alexander
field.
Madison can pick up the dinking and the dunking. He had uh, 5 rushing attempts.
Yeah, so it ain't like he was like
So
killing it with attempts or
yeah,
nothing like
19
that.
yards,
So
but he had 6 targets, 4 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown. I think what keeps him in that game is the fact that he had a lucky touchdown.
like I mean, that's what I'm saying. And the thing
So
is,
yeah,
like with Justin Hill, he is gonna be in the
yeah,
game a lot.
they're telling you, and
He's gonna be
this isn't
involved.
off season talk. This is regular season talk. That
Yeah,
they're going to keep Justice Hill involved in that. So
yeah.
I believe that. So that's why I pick him over. What is Jamal said about the Raiders? They're basically always going to be in a negative game script. So you want a guy that catches passes. You know who didn't catch passes?
Devontae.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae.
I felt so. He had one really good reception. I said before the season I wanted Aiden O'Connell to win that job, and that first game just solidified that thought. I hope it's a matter of time before they say Gardner Minshew sit down. And not saying Aiden O'Connell is great, not even saying Aiden O'Connell is going to make them into winners, but he's more of a prototypical quarterback. He's good at getting the ball out. He's good at actually
Mm-hmm.
finding his receivers. He's not a dink and dunker, which is all Gardner Minshew. And I like Gardner Minshew. I think he's a great personality. He's a backup.
But
And
Aiden O'Connell's gonna play at some point,
he's
just
got to
because.
play, hopefully sooner than later.
I mean, everywhere Gardner Minshew's been, he's been benched
Because
for
he's that good.
somebody.
He's
Yeah, so
he's the quarterback you want on your bench because he has enough up here that he can, keep you in games, but
yeah,
he's not a winner.
yeah. So that's why he's probably gonna get benched because he gets benched everywhere he goes. So that's just being totally honest with you. But
By the way, I don't think that was a Antonio Pierce decision to start with Gardner Minshew. I think that's a complete Luke Getsy decision because all he likes to do is dink and dunk anyway,
why would that not
which
be?
is why he ruined Justin Fields. And so
Why would that not be a Tony Pierce decision?
because Antonio Pierce is a defense, we said before, coaches have their lane. He
Mm-hmm.
is a defensive genius, and that defense is the only thing the Raiders have going for him. I think they brought in Luke Getsy, and they said him, "You make the decision of who the starting quarterback is." And once it goes down in the gutter, which it's destined to do, then I think he'll make the decision. And but Why are you talking about my man
Wait
Devontae?
a
Why does he
minute.
have to be washed?
Well, I don't agree with that one, but okay.
but he does have a. Hey, you know who also left Green Bay to go to the Raiders? Jordy Nelson. He had a good year. He had one good year with us. But
I mean,
I'm not mad at you, Fupa, but I'm mad at you.
yeah, that's funny. I don't.
Hater.
I
Devontae
just
Adams
think
is good
I think
still.
he just need Devontae's. At some point, Devontae gonna ask for a trade, and it's just gonna happen because he has
Honestly,
to
I was
get in a.
hoping they got. I think I mentioned to you before. I was hoping they made the trade with your team and just sent them to San Francisco, and we got Brandon Ayuk in return.
I
But
mean, he needs to go to a better situation where he's gonna be.
he needs to go where there's a quarterback, and
Mhm.
I still put a pox upon the Falcons for taking Penix away from the
Oh
Raiders, where he was
gosh,
destined to play.
Venice is supposed to be in a Raiders uniform. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I got one more.
All right, go for it.
Isaiah Likely or Jameson Williams?
Well, see, now you're switching positions, so I guess
Yeah,
this is for my flex spots.
yeah.
I'm going Jameson, uh,
Ooh.
because I was super duper impressed. I like
Mm-hmm.
Jameson coming out of
Alabama.
college.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was not too thrilled with his gambling issue that made him lose too much time, but
Yeah.
if he's going to be a part of that offense, uh,
I
with
think
the
it'll be a
Sun
big
God
part of
on
the
the end,
offense.
I think he's gonna put up some really good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I like Isaiah Likely as well, but if you're gonna ask me from a passing standpoint, do I like
Yes.
Jared Goff or Lamar Jackson? I'm a million times on Jared Goff. So for that reason, I'm all in on Jamison Williams.
I will say Jameson Williams too, because I can't jump off it now, the bandwagon, because I've been on the Jameson Williamson bandwagon for since he's been drafted. And I think I'm not gonna say he's gonna overtake the number one role, but I think it's gonna become a 1A, 1B type of situation where both of them are gonna because they don't really I ain't gonna say they don't run the ball, but they
Mm-hmm.
throw the ball more than they run the ball. And I think he's gonna get his share of targets just like St. Brown. And I think if you got him late, because I got Jameson Williams late in a couple of drafts, I think he's gonna come out and he gonna shock you. He gonna do numbers
Yeah,
even from a perspective where you picked him late. So I got him being he gonna do something this year because they want to get him involved. He's
yeah,
fast, bro.
he's too good to not get
Yeah, like
that.
he's good.
Yo, I'm feeling very good about the league where I have Jared Goff as my quarterback because the Sun God is gonna have better games than he did week one,
Of
uh,
course, yes.
for certain. And Jameson Williams is gonna continue to impress. So I'm all in on that one.
So who takes in that situation? Because well, somebody got to take a hit. Is it going to be? Is it going to be the tight end taking a hit? Because if you get Jameson involved, then you have to.
Talk about disappointing. Sam Laporta was
Sam
very
Laporta,
disappointing.
is he going to take the hit?
I think he pops back though because the one thing that Sam Laporta has that Jameson was Jameson Williams doesn't have is he's a size mismatch, size
That's
and
true.
speed thing. So we're seeing this era of pass catching tight ends. I
Okay.
think that you're gonna be, I dare to say a little bit of a Kansas City Chiefs style where you just don't know week to week which
Hmm.
receiver slash tight end is going to be that guy running the show. And I think there's enough love around. We can see Jared Goff throwing for like 4,500 yards, and in that case, all of them get a chance to eat. You just maybe don't know who's the number one on a week to week basis, but they're all going to produce and they're all going to be productive.
I got a second one for you, but
Hey,
it's
no, 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 no. You did the
come
last one.
on.
I
Okay,
got
go.
one
Okay,
last one.
go ahead. I got
I
you.
got one last one. That is on you. I've been trying to switch around positions, so I'm going to end with quarterbacks. Let's say you're trying to replace Jordan Love,
Hmm.
assuming he's not gonna play,
Play.
and
Yeah.
don't worry, it's not Malik Willis. um,
Please don't say that.
are you picking up two guys that had fairly good weeks. One we talked about before, um, Geno Smith or Sam Darnold.
I'm going Gino. The real Sam Darnold's gonna show up this week. He is. The real Sam Darnold is
Sam,
gonna show up this
see,
week.
I can't come out and say that I think Sam Darnold is good because I think I've said enough times Sam Darnold is garbage. But I think Justin Jefferson is good. I think they have a receiving core. But if I
But
gotta
you,
pick, I'm gonna go with you and say Geno Smith. I'm tempted on Sam Darnold. I told y'all before the season started, I picked up Sam Darnold in a lot of leagues. I have him in like 3 or 4 of my leagues.
what you're
Um,
not saying
but I'm not
is
starting him in any of them, despite the success he saw last week. I definitely not started him this week because, like I know why you're saying you're gonna see the real one this
mhm.
week. He's not gonna look as good against the 49ers as he looked against the Giants. That's for certain. Um, so
I would
I'm
say
with you.
this. You
I
have
say
to.
Geno Smith is the guy I'm gonna probably be more convinced to be good. But I think there's a chance that we see a good Sam Darnold this year. A chance.
No,
Not this week. Not this week. But
I would
long
say
term.
this. What you're saying, you're not saying what you should be saying.
What should I be saying?
They played the Giants.
They Daniel Jones is awful, by the way. I think that should.
That I just wanted to put that out there. They played the Giants.
Good
Um,
point. Good point.
and the Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones is horrible quarterback. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, he's
Awful.
just not a good quarterback. He's an awful quarterback, and the whole team as a
Yeah.
whole, it's just not good. So, of course, you're gonna look good in that situation when you play a team like the
When it's the
Giants.
Giants, and
It's
this
the
is going to
same.
be night and day.
Yeah.
Question: my mom wants to know. One team she has C.J. Stroud, Saquon Barkley, Rashad White, who was so this week. DJ Moore, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. Both of those Arizona guys did not do what people were
At
expecting.
all.
Rashad
Bro.
Stevenson, who was beastful, and
Yes.
then the defense is Cincinnati and kicker Elliott. They want to switch Harvison for Jalen Reed. Yes, 100. Well,
Switch how? What do you
I
mean?
I,
Like,
I don't know if I want to sit Marvin Harrison Jr.
I wouldn't.
Uh,
I would say DJ Moore
I'm
though.
looking at this roster. If I'm going to sit somebody, it's probably if I'm, DJ Moore.
DJ
What do you
Moore.
think? Yeah,
DJ Moore.
only because of that quarterback situation. As
DJ
bad as,
Moore.
I definitely put Jaden Reed in the.
Jay Reed goes in the
He
game.
deserves
Well,
to be
hold
in your
up.
starting
First of all,
lineup.
hold up. Before you say that,
Oh, hold on, wait, Malik
yeah,
Willis
before you
maybe.
say that,
Ooh,
before
yeah.
you say that now, before you say
Good
put
point.
Jay
You
Reed
stopped
in,
me. You stopped me.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Mm.
If Malik Willis is playing, you don't put Jaden Reed in.
Ooh.
You run with
Yeah,
DJ
yeah,
Moore and
yeah,
Marvin
yeah,
Harrison Jr. Now, if Jordan Love is playing, which I hope they don't do,
yeah. Yeah.
but they
Good
may
point.
do,
Good point.
then you go to Jaden Reed. But if Jordan Love is not on that field, do not put Jaden Reed in the game.
I stand corrected. I was thinking of how I like the individual wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I blacked out on
I'm
the
just saying,
Malik.
I got you. That's what we're here for. I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
you.
Thank you for stopping me in my tracks because I was about
Yeah,
to say something really horrible.
yeah, I
Yes,
got you.
yes,
I
yes.
got
No,
you.
you don't switch them out this week.
No,
You
no, not this week. No, you run
yeah,
with Marvin Harrison
yeah,
Jr.
yeah.
If Jordan Reed is
Good point.
there and like Jordan Love is playing, then it's all love. You
Let's
just put him in the game.
see
But
where it goes.
you gotta wait till Sunday to
You
find this out.
you got to find
Not,
out when you find. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
don't please don't.
You don't want your fantasy hopes on Malik Willis.
Oh, you don't want
You
that
don't
at
want
all.
that at
Please
all.
don't.
All right,
I mean,
you said you had
please.
another pick too before we hit bounce out of here.
I
Pick
I
one.
have one,
Yeah.
but it's the same team, and
Okay.
I just want to have some fun with this. Rasheed Rice or the rookie Worthy.
Worthy. Worthy was.
Ooh.
I think we
I like.
said.
Oh gosh,
Uh, I'm
man.
I'm I'm I am a big Xavier Worthy guy. I'm
Oh
all the way. Now
man.
they say there's a chance that Hollywood Brown comes back
Right.
this
Okay.
week. I'm not too
I'm
whatever
not
on
concerned with
it. I'd say
that. I don't
Rasheed
know.
Rice. I think is the more PPR kind of guy. He's gonna get consistent targets because Mahomes
Hmm.
does look his way. But just for this big play opportunity, yo, I'm all on Xavier Worthy between the two.
I I love Xavier Worthy. I do,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say Rasheed Rice, just from a like you say a PPR standpoint, right?
Uh,
He, he's gonna get targets. He gets targets all the time. So I'm gonna say that. So
yeah.
I'm gonna say Rasheed Rice slightly, but I
Yeah.
think both of them are really good. I will say that. I just think Rasheed Rice gets so many targets in the game. It's like if you
Yeah,
just watch
that's the reason to choose Rasheed Rice is because
the
he's more
targets,
his targets.
yeah, the targets is there. The target share is crazy.
Speaking of which, the Chiefs play the Bengals this week.
Yes,
Uh, your boy will be in Kansas City. We got to figure out whether we're gonna sneak over to that stadium and see this
you
game
should.
firsthand.
You should
We
go
have
to
to
the
check this
stadium,
out.
man.
By the way, I don't like this comment saying that I play against Jay. Hey, I help people even if I'm playing against them. I have no
Oh no, see,
fear.
but
I help
that
this.
was a good help. That was not a
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
help. That was
I
a good
think
help.
I think she didn't tell us that team though. I think she kept
Uh,
that team to herself. But hey, let me or hey, while you're at it, if you haven't already hit subscribe, hit Rodney up on his Twitter.
I'll give you the real answer. People
If you
always
don't
hit me up.
trust me to give them answers.
I would look.
Social media,
I
you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, comments, and you anywhere. Uh, always willing to help out.
I'm always willing to help out. I answer I guess it's tweets, but I don't know what they call it now. But yeah, I
All
guess
right.
it's Twitter. They want to call it X Twitter, whatever.
I call it Twitter. Look, if
Yeah,
I'm gonna name him Twitter, I'm gonna call him Twitter.
yeah. So I guess
Before I let you go again, shout out to Frankie Beverly. Um, is this an overreaction? We saw the lowest number of passing touchdowns thrown since 2007. I think there was like 35 passing touchdowns thrown,
I
which is all it's close to getting to half to what it was just a few years ago.
I
Uh,
would say this: the
I, I,
people, and the thing is, I know people think I'm a hate them. I hate on certain players. It is what it is. I take that.
it's
You
not
know.
all because of Caleb Williams. Before you say
No, no, no,
that,
no, no, no. But I
but
will
yeah,
say this. I mean, I
what
will
you
say
got?
this. But people think I'm a hater. It's cool, but I will be that guy. I promise you,
You would be the
because
hater. Go
I
ahead.
will be the hater for the show. I'm good for it because somebody got to be the bad guy, and I'm willing to be that guy. It is what it is. But I would say this: people just think about this for a moment. Now, most of the starters that played Week 1 did not play in the preseason. Not
That's what.
one.
Yes,
So, and if they did play in the preseason, they
they didn't play
played
long.
maybe 2 snaps, 3 snaps. That's about it. And they didn't play the second or the third game because they already pretty much they knew they were starting. Now you got to think about it. Most like especially from the last 2 years, the first 2 games it takes maybe the good
Mm-hmm.
ones to get that rest off. Then
Yeah,
that third game, that's when you really start seeing real good football. Like it was some bad football this weekend.
yeah,
Bad.
a lot.
Like just being honest with y'all. But give it a couple weeks, and then the real one's gonna shake that rust off, and then you're gonna see who's good and who's bad, and then you're gonna be able to
So
go.
didn't I say wait till week 4 or 5? Didn't I say that?
No, no, no. We,
Yeah.
we was talking about Caleb Williams. I told you Caleb
No,
Williams was
no,
trash.
no,
We ain't
no.
talking
Go
about that.
back. No, you can go back and play the tape. I said that about everybody. I said
No,
wait
no,
till
no.
like
See,
week or
see, but
4.
Our
No.
producer's not letting you get away with this.
but
I
my
said that
my
about
take is this.
everybody. I
See, my
wasn't
take
just
is
talking
this.
about
I'm
Caleb.
always gonna feel how I feel about Caleb because I just don't think
No,
Caleb is a good
see,
quarterback.
you
That's
see,
my
I
feel.
didn't. Wait a minute,
But
did I even say
But
Caleb Williams?
but
Did
but
I
hold up.
even
But what I'm
say that
saying is
man's
this though.
name?
But what I'm saying is
Oh
it is
my
Right,
bad. It was
goodness.
bad play, right? It's been bad play all weekend because some of the guys haven't played.
right.
What I'm saying is the good players are gonna shake the rest off. Okay, Deshaun Watson is not going to shake the rest
No,
off.
he's not gonna shake it
Weeks
off.
3 or 4. We
Look,
just know that.
he's
That's
in his
just being
look.
honest.
my
Deshaun Watson is
goodness.
his 3rd year of trying to shake off the rust. It ain't
So
happening.
it ain't gonna happen. So what I'm saying is,
But
so
the
at the
good
end of the day,
players, you
the
expect them to
good
get
players
better.
are gonna shake the rest off.
But
Deshaun
that's what I.
Watson, Daniel
Wait,
Jones,
no,
they're not gonna
hold
shake
on.
the rest off.
Jasper,
They're
didn't I
just gonna
say
be
that?
bad.
Please, somebody come to my defense. I said I did not even mention whatever that boy's name is at all. I just said wait till week 4 or 5. Darn it! Come on now.
Look, Carla got you,
Thank
and my
you.
mom got you in the
Somebody
comments.
get me. I didn't even talk about that boy. I just said wait till week 4 or 5 and
See, but I
reevaluate
won't
players.
trying to say that though, Sydney. What I was saying was, I said the good players are gonna shake the rest off. The bad players,
But
like
I
Deshaun
no, but
Watson
I
and Daniel
said in
Jones.
general, you gotta
And
wait
you
till
want to
week
say
4 or
Caleb
5.
Williams.
I didn't say that though.
I said
I'm
you
just
want to
saying,
say. You want to say.
everybody on this show know how I feel about Caleb Williams. It's like
Ain't
everybody know how I
nobody
feel about
talking
Aaron
about
Rodgers.
Well, I
him.
just did. I
Oh
just brought
my
it
gosh!
in.
You
I
bring it
did
up.
not
I'm
say
just
Caleb
saying.
Williams. Goodness, get over yourself. What nobody talking about him?
I
Okay,
did Richard.
he
I did
brung him
bring
up.
in
Your
Caleb Williams.
husband brung him up.
That was
I
me.
didn't.
I brought up Caleb Williams.
I didn't bring up Caleb. I ain't said a word about Caleb.
But you
I
said
just said the good players will shake the rest off. Players like a Daniel Jones and your God forbid, I hope Watson does, but we know Watson ain't gonna shake the rest off because he just ain't gonna play well. It's just those guys that's gonna play bad and
Yeah.
continue to play bad throughout the season. But you gotta, what I'm saying is, the guys that you drafted earlier on,
Stick
they
to your
should shake the
guns.
rest off in those between games 3 and 4. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what was it. So the point being, it is an overreaction if you're worried about that week 1 passing performance. These guys are going to get better as it
That's
goes.
all I'm saying.
And so trust yourself
Did I
with
not
the way
say
you
that?
drafted and wait to week
He
4.
brung up Caleb. I didn't. He
But
brung
I
up.
don't. You know what? I'm about to quit and shut down this whole show because I get no credit for nothing I say. It always comes back to one little sad comment.
What's going on?
All right, well, before our producer shuts us down, good luck with everybody with your fantasy football.
Yeah, good luck, y'all.
This week.
Sydney,
Yo,
I-
who
Sydney,
y'all
I
got?
love you,
Who
Sydney.
y'all
I
got
do.
winning tomorrow between the Bills and
Man,
the
whatever.
Dolphins?
Sydney, I love you, Sydney. I do.
Man,
No,
whatever.
You
nobody.
like a big, you like
Yes,
a big
who
Alright.
got the
Sydney. I
game
got you.
tomorrow?
I
Yeah,
love you,
go to
Sydney.
that. Talk about
Yes.
who got the game tomorrow.
I got
Come
the
on.
Bills.
Who got it?
I got the Bills winning.
Wait, who the Bills play tomorrow?
The Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Ugh. I don't like the Bills, so I can't say them. Sorry.
Undecided. All right.
Oh, well,
Honestly,
okay, if
Sydney,
that's
you
what
should,
you
you
calling
should
it,
like the
sure.
Bills. You know why?
Because they gave y'all Xavier
They
Worthy.
gave y'all Xavier Worthy. They
No,
should.
that's
You should
not
like
the
Bills.
reason. No, that's not the reason why. I'm not a Bills fan.
No, she
They
said
have-
that's why you should like the Bills.
That's why you should
Oh,
like the
They,
Bills.
they
no.
gave y'all the
Yeah,
biggest
well,
Christmas gift ever.
I'm gonna say yes. That was look, they bad, but I'm not a Bills fan. I'm sorry, I can't root for them. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's much like the Raiders. I can't root for the Raiders. So
See.
Wow.
Why the Raiders
You in the house
catch
for the
his
Raiders
grades?
fan? Lord.
I
That's
know
not even
what. No,
necessary.
I know what I married. I just still can't be. Look, I
Ra-
know.
Raiders on the sideline minding their business.
That's what the Raiders do to y'all. Like, what we
Oh,
doing
they've
here?
they've done a lot. So let's not go
At any
there.
rate.
We trying to end the show, right? Let's go.
Let's
Anyway.
look, Sid, you know it's all love with me, but I really didn't bring his name up. Your husband did. My brother over here, my brother and I brought him up. I was just saying, and I agree with you. It takes about 4 weeks, but at the same time, it's certain players. It's just gonna be bad regardless. It just don't matter who they are. They're still gonna be bad throughout the season anyway. And if you drafted it, you might have 1 or 2 that supposed to be bad. That's not bad, and it happens that way. It's gonna be injuries. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's all of what it is. It's football is about luck. It's 90% of it is luck, and 10% is skill. At the end of the day, because you got to be lucky for not having somebody getting injured and good play. That's all fantasy is. At the end of the day.
There we go.
So.
All right. Well, that's it for the night. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us.
Yeah.
We
we back, yo. This
we
is
gonna hit y'all again next week. We are 100% in on this season.
Oh,
Make
and
sure
we might have some pictures from Arrowhead because apparently I'm hearing we might sneak to the stadium.
we
So
might.
Y'all should go. I think y'all should. This should. I'm trying to go to. I'm trying to go see Jordan Love this year and play the 49ers. So I'm trying to go to Green Bay. It's gonna be cold as crap, but I'm going.
You should watch them play against Chicago.
I'm not watching Chicago.
Come
I watched Chicago game last week.
on. Well, good luck to your 49ers and
Appreciate
everybody. Peace out, everybody. If we don't beat each other up, we'll be back here next week. Tell all
It's
your
all
friends.
love, people. We love each other
tell
around
all
here.
your friends, all your family to come watch RJ Fantasy Football every week, every Wednesday, 9:00.
And look, if you got questions,
Yes.
you know where to find us. We do respond. I don't know how quick he responds, but I respond pretty quick. So
what was that?
I'm just saying. I don't know.
This is like a shot for no reason.
That's what I'm
no
saying. Like,
shots.
I don't know how quick he responds.
No
to
shots.
that.
Don't do
Minding
like
my
that.
own business. Y'all see how they do me.
That was the love right there.
One of them talking about my Raiders, the others talking about my
Oh,
social
I'm
media.
gonna
Just let you know what you're
I'm
saying.
gonna
I'm just
always
saying.
talk about your Raiders. I mean, we started our friendship that way. So what?
Wow. Did she diss the Raiders when y'all met?
Oh no, we'll tell that story. But yeah, she was quite mean.
Oh, wow.
At an establishment. Shout out to Roger Brown's.
Sydney, were you mean to him?
Very,
Yes. Yes.
Very, very mean.
Yes.
Hey.
Unnecessarily.
Yes.
But I married her anyway. So
Yeah.
it's
I
my
mean,
fault.
no, because I won't tell the whole story, but I literally was both of our teams that particular year sucked horribly. But I celebrated like we just won the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I rubbed it all in his face the whole night.
I can imagine when y'all when they win the Super Bowl around there, how it be. She just probably throw it all in your face, don't she?
Hold up.
No,
Now I get it. Hold on. Wait. I get to
Oh.
do a shot before we leave. No, because those Super Bowls were against the 49ers, and so we were united against your horrible team.
See, but
So,
what
I was
people don't
happy.
understand. See, what people don't understand is that's what really started the feud
Yeah.
between me and her.
Between those
because,
two.
because of the
100%.
Super Bowl.
Twice.
But twice. I mean, I don't know if I took it personal or she took it personal, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I call my shot. Like, I didn't say they cheated. I'm just saying they had a few holding calls. That's all I'm saying.
What else? Who got the rings though?
See, there she goes. She always starting with me. I understand that. I'm not mad at that.
Because
Y'all
if the
won
because
fair
if the
square.
tables was turned, you would throw that crap right back at me. So
That
whatever,
is not
bro.
true, Sydney. You know that. You better stop doing me like that.
Oh, audience,
I
please
wouldn't.
come to my defense on this one. Y'all know he would have threw that
I
right back
wouldn't
at
throw
me
that back
if
in
the
your
tables
face.
was turned. Come on now.
I'm the most honest 49er fan you would ever meet. I would tell you that. You know that. I would throw it back in your face, though. I would just say we beat y'all. That's it. Whatever.
Oh, I'm waiting. All right, I'm gonna just sit. You see what I'm drinking out of, right? All right.
All right, y'all. I'm leaving for real this time.
Yeah.
Y'all, take it easy. Love
Yeah,
y'all.
hopefully
Have a
we
great
make it back
night.
next week because
We'll be back.
We
Better than ever.
Yeah, we will. I guess if she don't find me and strangle me because she was yelling at me tonight because that's what she like to do. Yeah, it's cool though.
All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.